For tonight's non-league matchup between the Indiana University South Bend Titans of the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference taking on the Crossroads League, the homestanding Bethel College Pilots. The Titans come in 2 wins and 3 losses on the season. The Pilots, ranked number 23 in the preseason NAIA Division II men's poll, coming in with a perfect 5-0 record. Coach, the Pilots are coming off a hard-fought win on the road against Roosevelt. Indiana University South Bend coming off a very emotional win against a previously unbeaten Indiana University Northwest team. So teams coming in with a lot of confidence coming into tonight's Crosstown Classic.
Yeah, both teams coming off big wins. The Pilots certainly at 5-0 have answered some questions people had heading into this season. A lot of new faces, some question marks there, and they've certainly answered the critics. Travion Cruz makes everybody better on the floor. This IUSB team, a ton of talent. Again, a lot of new faces, getting to know one another on the floor. Some early season struggles, but I think this is going to be a team that's going to be very competitive in the CCAC.
We saw them play in the season opener against Concordia, and they had some really moments of dynamic up and down the floor abilities. Their ability to shoot the ball, they're wide, they're athletic, they're a very, very talented group. Scott Cooper's club trying to do something that no team in the CCAC has done in about 5 or 6 years, and that's beat the Bethel Pilots. The Pilots have won 21 straight games against the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, including the win against Roosevelt this past week. Got to get that monkey off your back if you're Scott Cooper. He's also 0-4 against the Pilots.
Yeah, and he's got a tough road ahead of him. Like I said, talented team. They shoot a lot of threes. When they're hitting threes, it's good. When they're not, they have to have that plan B. This is a team that's not wide, but they're long. A lot of long arms to get in the passing lanes, deflect a lot of passes, and so I think they'll look to push the tempo, but we know the Pilots like to play up tempo as well.
Pilots are coming off a really unique performance at Roosevelt up in Chicago, where they had a big 47-20 lead at one point in time, and then the last 2 minutes of the first half gave up 8 unanswered points. But what a performance by Paul Foreman, probably his best all-around basketball game since he's wore a Bethel uniform. Conversely, we could say the same thing about Travion Cruz. Didn't necessarily play very well, believe it or not, but he had a triple-double, only the 5th in school's history. Go figure that one out.
Yeah, you know what, in the game before that I called, he had 24 points, and it was a quiet 24 points. I was talking to some former players after the game, and Travion just has a way of, he's mature, he's quiet, he's not flashy. He just does things. And like you said, at the end of the day, you go, he didn't play great. Oh, he had a triple-double, only the 5th in Pilot history.
Yeah, that's
a pretty good crew.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's the thing that you kind of hard to wrap your mind around. It goes, where are they really going with this guy? Only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a special player, and I said this in our last broadcast here that I don't recall in my 12 years here on campus as part of the pilot program somebody that just had the ability to take over and play. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yes, no question about it. Once again, the Pilots unbeaten at 5-0, taking on the 2-3 Titans of Indiana University South Bend. Stay tuned for men's college basketball live from Mike Lightfoot Court inside the Gates Gymnasium. We'll be back with more of college basketball right after this short timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
College basketball here today from Bethel College, Indiana University, South Bend, in town to take on the Bethel College Pilots, if you can call it in town. They just drove about 5 minutes away to get here, but glad that you can join us here for tonight's broadcast. Scott Cooper joining us here. Coop, first of all, let's just kind of go back through the first 5 games and just talk about I saw you in game 1, so I kind of had an idea where you guys were at, but you're still kind of like a work in progress like most teams at this stage.
Yeah, it probably will be for a while. You know, as young as we are and as many new bodies as we're trying to fix into the whole mix, it's we're not going to know it for a little while as we're still trying to figure out what lineups work best together and what guys can play in what situations. But we've made some progress. You know, defensively we're still very much a work in progress, but offensively we're starting to find a little bit of a rhythm, and that's been nice to see. Hopefully that continues tonight, and defensively we just need to take a step forward and hopefully just keep getting better.
You knocked out Indiana University Northwest from the ranks of the unbeatens this past game. So let's just reflect back on what a big building block that one is for your team.
Yeah, especially offensively. They were a really good defensive team with a whole lot of length and switchability, and to come out and put up 102 points on them was huge for us. And I thought we played really well. You know, a lot of times you look at the tape and it's never as bad or as good as you thought it was. And I thought we were pretty good that game offensively. You go back and look at the tape, and we were excellent. I mean, that was really kind of mid-season stuff. So again, not that you expect that every single night from a young team, but hopefully we can keep building on that and move forward. Defensively, we gave up 99, and it's something we still have got to get better at. But we showed some flashes here and there. We just need to put them together in longer stretches.
Well, when you look at the numbers, number 7 in the country in total steals, number 11 in blocks, and you're number 17 in scoring. So it sounds like, statistically speaking, that you're doing things right. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with the progress we've made. It's just, we have expectations of this group. We think we can be really good. It's just a matter of when. And for us, it's not a matter of if, like you said, we do some good things. It's a matter of can we put it together for 40 minutes yet. And, we haven't shown the ability to do that yet, but we keep getting better, and the stretches that we talked about keep getting longer and longer, and hopefully we can get to that point by the time we get into league play.
I think it's really important for all of the NAIA schools to go away from their leagues and play outside of their conferences, whether it be in the Crossroads or the WAC or the CCAC. Can you speak to your mindset of scheduling non-league teams early on to kind of give you some new looks and some challenges?
Yeah, we get a little bit of everything. We try to get good teams like Bethel. We try to get, some weaker teams that we can maybe work on some things against. And we try to get some teams that do some different things. We're getting ready to play Lords here next Tuesday, who plays nothing but matchup zone, which is something we'll see once or twice in our league. But we don't see a whole lot of zone in our league. So, for us to prepare for that by the time we actually do see it in our conference is great. And they're very good at it. So, we do all those type of things, and there's no rhyme or reason to all of them, but we try to stay local too, just to try to develop some rivalries with teams again like Bethel and hopefully Goshen and Grace and some of those here in the future as we're working on that stuff. But it's a lot of fun anytime you can do that, because I think a lot of especially when we have as many Indiana kids as we do, that they're going to know a lot of the guys from the other teams and develop maybe a little different type of atmosphere when we're going forward.
All right, let's turn our attention to the team that calls itself home here tonight, and give us your concern about the Pilots.
Well, it starts with Travion Cruz, man. He just makes them a different team, and they've got obviously a lot of veteran players and guys that have been through the fire a little bit that we don't have yet. But to add a piece like that, and a guy who's really been, even though he didn't play last year, has been in their system for a year now, just gives them another veteran piece and makes everybody better. So you got a guy like Ryan Lutz who, had an up and down year last year, but now he's dynamite because you have to account for him because they've got an extra playmaker on offense. And a guy like Paul Foreman who, obviously had a very good running mate last year in Gage Ott and loses that, and it gives him another way to draw some attention away from him so that he can do what he does. And they've got good players all the way down 1 through 8. I think are really good players. But to have a piece like that that's above maybe your typical NAIA player just makes everybody below him a lot better.
Let's break it down defensively. What do you have to do to stop the Pilots? And offensively, what do you think you can do to exploit some of the Pilots' deficiencies on defense?
Yeah, I think on both ends of the floor it really comes down to the same thing. Their advantage is obviously their experience and the things that come with being a 22-year-old versus an 18-year-old. That they're going to be a little bit stronger and maybe a little bit, I won't say bigger. We've got an awfully big team, but some things that come with that and that experience. And for us, we've got to make sure we take advantage of the things we're good at, and that's our length and our athleticism and some of the matchups that maybe get created by that. And hopefully we can do a good job of that. And if it does, we'll be in good shape.
Best of luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you very much.
During Gates' 90th birthday celebration, choose from over 1,000 new and used cars, including Toyota RAV4s, along with Chevy Equinox or Traverse for just $9,990. You can choose from the Toyota Camry, the Chevy Cruze for as little as $10,990, $990. Or how about the big Chevy Silverado truck starting at just $259 a month? What a deal. Still family owned and managed now by the fourth generation of Gates. They've been fair, friendly, familiar, and have served millions of loyal customers for the past 90 years. Our pregame interview with head coach Ryan Lightfoot, presented by the Gates Automotive Group. College basketball this evening from Bethel College, Indiana University South Bend, here to take on the 23-ranked Bethel Pilots. Pilots off to a 5-0 start. Titans coming in at 2-3. Ryan Lightfoot joining us here on the pregame show. Ryan, first of all, let's just kind of go back and talk about the roller coaster that was the Roosevelt game. He jumped off to a big lead, shot the lights out of the basketball. We had a whole bunch of heroes for the first 19 minutes or so, and then the wheels came off. But then you had some heroes at the end, so it was a wide variety of things for you. Probably a game that you needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great test for us on the road, playing against a Roosevelt team who's really good. Their record doesn't necessarily show how talented they are. They've got 7 seniors, and they all went to national tournament, a team that was receiving votes, and plays really well at home. So for us, I think it was more about just managing our emotions. I think we talked about it the other day in practice. I think we've set the bar really high for ourselves, and our guys are smart enough and have high enough basketball IQ. We know how good our good is. And the reality is when we don't hit that mark, how do we push through to get to that mark? And I think for right now, we're getting frustrated in those moments, and we kind of shut down. I think for us, we just got to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. We kind of made that adjustment as we were talking a little bit about the Duke and Kentucky game. And Duke kind of set the bar really high on themselves. Everybody kind of labeled them as national champions. What happens when things get tough? What happens when those moments aren't there? We've seen ourselves play really good in spurts, and now it's for us is just making that consistent for 40 minutes and just not losing our mental track and just keeping leadership, keeping encouraging each other, and keep battling through those moments. And I think for us, it's good for us to play against good teams, especially on the road, and build that competition level for us to make sure we're winning close games down the stretch. And we had, like you said, we had multiple people step up down the stretch and actually do some things for us.
It's my observation, and certainly I don't break down tape, but just the games that I've done, I don't think I saw a more complete game from Paul Foreman. I thought it was the smartest he's played within himself. Just that's my observation. Am I close?
Yeah, I think Paul's played, I think for the last 3 or 4 games, Paul's done a very good job of playing under control. I think what's different than Paul this year is he's playing smart defensively. I think offensively he's kind of a bull in the china shop at times. I think, with our point guard play and our guard play from all around, they're making smart plays, and it makes the game really easy for him. The game slows down a little bit, but he's staying out of foul trouble. And I think that's huge for us. He's a guy who played 33 minutes in the game last Saturday or whatever it was. He hasn't done that in a long time. And so for us to have him off and rolling is huge. And I think our other bigs are going to follow suit hopefully here in the next couple weeks.
We would be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that Travion Cruz, a triple-double. There's only been 5 in school's history. And you look at the players that are on that list are all pretty special players. Well, let's just talk about, you told me that this train was coming down the track during the offseason. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'll have that wait and see attitude. But you knew that he's a special player.
Yeah, I think we knew it when the moment he got here, he was special. There's just something different about him. And we met yesterday in the office and just kind of talked about how good does he really want to be. I think even as talented as he's been, and we're really hard on him as a staff, we're thinking he didn't play very well against Roosevelt, and he has 18, 11, and 11. He's capable of so much more, and it's kind of how good does he want to be. I congratulated him on all the accolades that are coming and are still to come. He's one of those players that's going to be around for a long time, only being a sophomore. But I think for him, it's not only how good do you want to be, but I think he's just scratching the surface of what he's doing. I think this did not come as a surprise. I'm proud of him, but I'm not surprised by anything he's getting and the type of success he's having. He works his tail off, and it's a consistent effort every day for him.
I had a chance to watch Scott Cooper's group play in their season opener against Concordia. They've been up and down in regards to their performance. They knocked off an unbeaten Indy Northwest the last time out. Norrell Smith is a kid that you got to keep an eye on. Dylan Allen, and up and down the line. An athletic group, you got to make sure you put a body on these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they pose a lot of problems for us because of how much they try to space you out. You know, they play a 5-out, some 4-1. They do have some size and some athleticism, but they have multiple guys that can hurt you. Look at their lineup. You know, they've had 5 or 6 guys score double figures already just in a short season. And I know that their record won't show what they're capable of, but we know now as a team that's 5-0 is, you know, we could always sell, hey, we're the hunter. We're the hunter. And I think, you know, now we're being hunted. I think people know who we are and what we're about and understand kind of our blueprint. And now they're going to try to combat that and come at us. And we have to be able to take everybody's best shot. But IUSB, the way they shoot the basketball, especially from the outside, you know, they shot 47 threes against us last time we played them at their place. They like to get it up. They're playing a little bit more pace now. And so hopefully we can contain some of their high-volume scores.
All right, taking a look at this roster here, is there a matchup that really is overwhelming for you?
You know, I look at their 4-man, Norrell Smith, more than anything else. He started for his games and he came off the bench for us. You know, we want to play big if we can. We had to win some games going 4-guard lineup, and we may have to get that again today. But I think Norrell at the 4, because of his athleticism, his ability to take guys off the bounce and shoot the basketball, is one of those things that I look at and say, okay, how do we combat that? I think we've been looking for on our team that secondary big that can really define himself within our role. And I think that's really going to expose us because we know we can take care of their big inside. I think Paul can do a very good job with them. Their guard play is really solid, but so is ours. It's that secondary big that they have in their lineup that can really pose a lot of problems and have given us problems in the past. Not only you look back at St. Ambrose, you look back again at Roosevelt, it's those secondary bigs that are making big impacts in our game. So those guys have to step up and answer the call.
Final question. It's really neat that this rivalry has been extended here. It's good to have 2 teams from the same county to be able to be involved in that. I'm hoping that the honoring the first responders and the military guys tonight will be a special night for you guys. When it's all said and done, what do you have to do to win the game, though?
I think for us, we just got to make sure we play resilient. I think this is a team that plays in spurts. You know, I look at their game against IU Northwest. They were up 15-2. Next thing you know, they're down 29-30. And so for us, we can't get hung up on if they're hitting shots. We just have to be consistent in our approach and be resilient about how we do our things and not play ugly. They have the ability to make you want to trade baskets with them. So for us, it's just being sound to our principles and making sure we're resilient as we play.
Special thanks to Ryan Lightfield. Let's go on down to Brian Miller and our prayer.
To the Star Spangled Banner. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Bethel College freshman Grace Tarnow.
So proudly we hailed
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mike Lightfoot Court inside the Gates Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethel College. This is the Whitecamp Center. Thank you for attending tonight's men's basketball matchup between the visitors, the Indiana University of South Bend Titans, and the home team, your Bethel College Pilots. Let's meet the starting lineups now. First for the visitors from IUSB. Starting at 1 forward, a 6'7" freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, wearing number 1, Miles Tracy. At a guard for the Titans, 6'3" junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 4, Miles Simmons. At a guard, 6' sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 11, Dylan Allen. At forward for IUSB, 6'7" junior from Baldwin, Michigan, wearing number 33, Miguel Mahan. And at forward, 6'3" senior from Warsaw, Indiana, number 40, Rashawn Jackson. The Titans are coached by Scott Cooper, assisted by Quentin Canty. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, BC fans of all ages, Whitecamp Wackos, let me hear you. Here's the starting lineup now for the home team, your Bethel College Pilots. At one guard is 6'1" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 1, Trayvon Covington. At guard for BC, 6' sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 3, Trevion Cruz. Also at guard for your Pilots, he's 6'3", a senior from Granger, Indiana, number 4, Ryan Lutz. And the men in the middle for your Pilots, 1 forward at 6'8", a senior from Archbold, Ohio, number 31, Luke Fisher. And at forward, 6'8" senior, he's from Cherubusco, Indiana. He's number 43, Paul Foreman. Bethel coaches are Alex Daniel, Drew Schaus, Ryan M., and the head coach of your Pilots in his second season, a 2010 BC graduate, is Ryan Lightfoot. Fans, introducing today's officials. The men in stripes are Mr. Charles Russell, Mr. Patrick Stegman, and Mr. Chris Fuller. Fans, remember each three-point basket.
All right, there you got it. Details are underway. Glad you could join us. Indiana University South Bend will be on the right side of your screen with the dark red jerseys. Block numbers trimmed in white with Titans written in white on the front. With the IU interwoven white on the back of the red jersey. Pilots white shorts, blue trim, BC on the side, blue numbers, trimmed in gray. Bethel written in blue, trimmed in gray on the front. We're ready to get underway. Bethel to move from left to right on your screen and on your radio dial. Jumping it up, Mahan and Foreman. IU South Bend will move from right to left with a basketball on the opening tip. With the ball now here is Dylan Allen. Right elbow comes back out to the top now here to Miles Tracy. Pass inside, here's Tracy. Right-handed shot, good. 2-0 Titans.
Thought Tracy got away with a little hop there. Matt Copsey sitting next to me had the same call, but Titans will take it for the early lead.
Trayvon Covington with the basketball here on the right side. Back out to the top to Foreman, back to Travion Cruz. Cruz, free throw line. Shot on the way, off the iron, no good. Paul Foreman the rebound, lost the handle on it, got it back. And then now he's hit from behind by Rashawn Jackson, and that's something that Rashawn has to really be cognizant about. He's a physically big body, and he can go toe-to-toe with the bigger of the Pilots.
And I think there's times that he gets called for fouls just because he's big. It's going to be a foul there on the inbound. Allen was holding on to Lutz coming off that screen there, so officials calling it tight here early on. 2 fouls in 38 seconds.
And it, once again, it'll be Travion Cruz to inbound to the right of the lane. Goes to Foreman, and then the hand back off to Travion. Back out here to Lutz on the right wing. Lobs it inside to Foreman. He's going to back it in. Fakes, double team, throws it away. Here come the Titans. Miles Simmons over the timeline now with a drive down the lane. Shoots, missed the shot. I thought he got fouled, no call. But here come the Pilots in the hands of Cruz.
And IUSB made it obvious that they're going to double Foreman down in the low post.
There's a pass up high now here to Foreman, back to Trayvon Covington. His three-point shot rattles around and in. And if anybody needed a three-point basket in the program right now, it's that guy.
Yeah, it's a young man who he's one of the better players in this team, but he's off to a rough start this season, and so good to see him get that first one to drop.
Here's a shot from the right side. No good by Miles Tracy. Here come the Pilots. Here's Lutz with the ball. Far left wing, 3 off the rim, no good. Rebound, tracked down by Dylan Allen. Allen on the push-up over the timeline now. Drives.
Charge.
And offensive foul called as Paul Foreman takes the charge. Is that the second foul on him already?
And if you scout the Pilots, you have to know, you have to come to jump stop. Paul Foreman is going to take a charge every opportunity he can. So that's 3 fouls here on IUSB as Dylan Allen has 2 fouls the first minute and a half. Grabbed one there, Holton Lutz, and now he picks up one there out of control on the breakaway.
So the second foul comes here at the 18:22 mark.
That's a big foul from an offensive standpoint for them.
Huge. Here's Fisher with the basketball. Foul line extended left pass now to Lutz inside of the low post to Cruz. Cruz is going to back in. Fade away, 12-footer, rims no. Rebound, Fisher tries to track it down, but Miguel Mahan is there. Up court quickly now, Kenny Washington. Drive, jump pass here to Jackson. Jackson on the spin, looks, skips it back out to the top now here to Simmons. Simmons, little jab step, back left side into the corner. Now over here in the corner, still with the ball, Kenny Washington. 10 on the shot clock, 3-point shot from out high, good for Miguel Mahan. That is only his second of the season. He came in 1 for 12.
And I was going to say, when he shot that, you'll give him that shot all night long. And yes, he hit it, and that'll probably lead him to shoot more, but he's much more dominant down in the low post.
Here's Cruz with the basketball at the top. Lobs it inside here to Fisher. Fisher with a spinner ramp into the goal. Reverse layup is no. Rebound deflected and controlled by the Titans. Miles Simmons quickly up the left sideline. Puts on the brakes left side wing. Look at a screen and roll, a little 2-man game. Simmons inside travel with the basketball.
Hop, skip, and a jump on that one there. So you got 2 turnovers on the Titans.
This is an athletic IUSB group. From our vantage point where we sit when we do IUSB games, we're up high, about 25 rows. Here's a backdoor pass to Covington from Foreman, and he scores to tie up the ball game.
And again, you can't let that happen. That's a staple in the Pilot offense. You know it's coming. Coach Cooper was yelling back cut. Unfortunately, he couldn't play.
But my point is, Coach, is that they're a lot quicker when you're down here on the floor than what we see up high.
Quicker and long, like I said in the pregame show. This isn't a big team, but they are long. They take up a lot of space.
Simmons, one-on-one against Lutz. On the drive, comes back up top. Here now to Mahan. Mahan left corner. Over here now to Wash's shot clock winding down. Off balance floater is an air ball, and it'll be Bethel basketball. Scott Cooper is telling Washington to take, or Simmons to take Lutz off the dribble as Fisher checks out of the ballgame and into the ballgame for the first time tonight, Gavin Rassler.
And that's a possession where you missed Dylan Allen's leadership out there. You heard Coach Cooper with about 10 seconds to go tell him the shot clock was winding down, but nobody wanted to take the shot.
Foreman with a basketball on the far wing. Comes over to Lutz. He comes around a screen. 18-foot shot good. 7-5. The Pilots guards have scored all the points in the early going.
Here.
With a basketball over here now. Miles Tracy. Tracy throws it away as Travion Cruz did a really nice job of filling the passing lanes on the defensive end of the floor.
And I like that press by the Pilots because it's not something they normally do. Give them a different look.
Timeout. Pilots 7, Titans 5, 15:58 to go. We'll be back with more after this.
To advance by increasing cure rates in childhood cancer. And donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. When it comes to research and advancements, there are some things that only we can do because we have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Our coverage of Bethel College men's basketball being presented in part by Gates Automotive Group. It's 90th birthday time at Gates, but everyone gets to be a part of the fabulous celebration. During the month of November, Gates will be giving away 20 tropical family cruise vacations and exciting Las Vegas getaways. In addition, you can win prizes like big screen TVs, gift cards, and Apple products. No purchase is necessary, and you can register at any Gates location or online at www.gatesautomotive.com. Winners will be announced every week throughout November. The Hall of Famer, Matt Copsey, has joined us, and he's going to tell you about the stats here at the 15:58 mark.
Thanks, Paul. IUSB 2 of 4 from the field, 3 total rebounds, 3 turnovers. Pilots 3 of 7 from the field, 3 rebounds, just 1 turnover.
With the basketball over on the far side now, Meredith. Or Simmons now on the far side, hit the left-hander for 3 is good. 8-7, Titans here at the 15:42 mark.
Told you in the pregame they like that three-point shot. Right now they're 2 for 2. If it's dropping, they're a real tough team to beat.
Cruz with the basketball goes now here to Travion Covington, lobs it inside to Foreman. Foreman squaring in, comes back to Covington. Covington with the drive, stops, 12-foot shot, and rims good. He's got all the kind rolls tonight. He's got 7 here in the early stages.
Yeah, Trayvon's now scored on a triple. Little pull-up jumper in the backdoor layup. So there's Rassler with another tip on the press.
Here's Covington with a pass over here to Rassler. He shoots, missed it, ball deflected around. And here come the Titans. Double team here in the backcourt. Over to the far side now, Miles Tracy. Bethel 9, IUSB 8 here in the early stages. Here's a three-point shot at the top, rimming good for Miles Simmons. He lights the lamp. That's the 3rd triple of the night for the Titans here, already at the 14:50 mark.
And Simmons feeling good. He shot that one and started backpedaling. He got the friendly roll, but he felt confident as soon as he released it.
Rassler backing in, jump pass to Foreman. Foreman thinks about the triple, spins to the goal, missed the shot. A rebound ripped out of there nicely by Miles Tracy. Up court quickly, Kenny Washington on the breakout. Puts on the brakes left wing. And now back here to Jackson. Rashawn goes inside to the low post to Tracy. Back, and he's stolen from behind by Lutz. Lutz on the dribble. Stops, right wing, hits the trailer now to Travion Cruz. Back to Lutz, into the corner here. Covington, 3, no. Rebound ripped out of there by Miles Tracy.
Nothing wrong with that shot, though, if you're a Pilot fan. IUSB now 5 turnovers.
With the ball over here is Miles Simmons. Comes around a double screen, shoots from the left side with a left-hand floater. Good. Titans lead at 13-9.
Simmons comes in averaging 10.5 points. He's got 8 already this evening.
Cruz with the basketball at the top. Still off the score sheet, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Over to the far side now to Trayvon Covington. Back to Rassler at the top. Now to Foreman here. Inside the low post now to Cruz. Cruz shovels it inside to Trayvon Covington for the layup. Nice play by TBC. And it's now 13-11. Timeout, Ryan Lightfoot. We're going to keep it right here and thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. It's Gates' 90th birthday, but everyone wants to be a part of the fabulous celebration. During the month of November, Gates will be giving away 20 tropical family cruise vacations and exciting Las Vegas getaways. In addition, you can win prizes like big screen TVs, gift cards, and Apple products. No purchases necessary, and you can register at any Gates location or online at www.gatesautomotive.com. Winners will be announced every week throughout November. Coach?
Interesting transition there. Originally, Ryan Lightfoot came on the floor to get a timeout because all 3 officials were on this end of the floor, and he wanted to make sure he got the timeout. The official came over here and said there was a coach's box warning against Ryan, and Ryan explained that he was trying to get everybody's attention because all 3 officials were over here. The official said, my fault, no warning, so we got things squared away there. But, there's a new coach's box this year, which isn't marked on the floor, and coaches are pushing limits. But in that case, all 3 officials are down here. You've got to get their attention before the ball's inbounded. That's what Ryan's trying to say.
Yeah, good call. So Bethel takes the first time out of the ballgame for either club.
Now, going back to the basket, Travion Cruz has the ball in his hands. Everybody in the gym, including all 5 defenders, are focused on what's he going to do, what's he going to do. Covington goes back door for a wide open layup because everybody's so focused on where the ball is. There's that press by the Palatskin. Hartman up there with Rassler.
Well, Covington with 9 points here in the first 6 minutes of the game, and he has been, certainly haven't had this kind of game. Here's just checking into the ball game was Kyle Hartman. Also, Dominic Jenko is checked into the Bethel lineup.
Fisher return.
And to inbound the basketball will be Kenny Washington along the near side. He goes here high to Norwell Smith. Smith, a talented player from Lake Central High School out in St. John. Here's a drive from the right side and a foul whistled on, was it Fisher inside?
I think they're going to get Luke for that one.
Yep, Luke Fisher guilty of the infraction.
It'll be his first.
Been a slow start for number 31 this season. And at the charity stripe will be Kenny Washington. Beech Grove High School was a Hornet, the same school that produced the Marion University women's basketball coach, Katie Geralds.
She's pretty good.
Yes, indeed. And Washington now 6 for 10 on the season at the charity stripe. Averages 3 points and 1.5 rebound, and he corrals a pair of those free shots. And it's now 15-11. Titans here at the 13-17 mark. Here's Jenko with the drive. Kick back out here to Rassler. Rassler 3, good. 14-11. Rassler now with his second triple of the year. And it comes here at the 13:04 mark.
Well, when Jenko gets in,
here's
a nice block
Fisher
by
with a
Luke.
block. Jenko pushing it out. Through traffic over the timeline now. Into the corner now here to Kyle Hartman. Back out to Rassler. 3, rims no good. And a foul whistle on the Titans. I believe they got to call that on the redhead, Will O'Connor.
National Love Your Redhead Day was at some point this week, but not today. So the official says, no love, my friend. Calling the foul there. Can't do that.
Hey, congratulations to our favorite Y-Camp wacko, Dave Schmidt, on winning his re-election for the Penn Harris Madison board. And there was a traveling by Hartman coming over off that. Hartman on the fadeaway shot in the lane from 9 feet. Good. Bethel now has a 16-15 lead at the 12:36 mark.
That's a good drive. Good body control by Kyle. Hitting that little pull-up.
With the basketball, Kenny Washington on the right wing. Reverse pass back to Smith. Norwell stops on the drive. Back out top now to Mahan. Miguel Mahan looking for some help. Back out to the top now, Miles Simmons. Simmons in between the rings. Over here to Norrell Smith. 4 on the shot clock. Back out here to the top. Long three-point shot way off the mark. No good. And that will be Bethel basketball.
Coach Cooper letting the official know, and the official says, I hear you, relax. You don't have to yell at me, I'm right here. He's got a good
Jenko
point.
with the right hand dribble. Here's Hartman with another travel.
That's 2 travels by Kyle.
Over here now, Travion Cruz. Cruz back over to Hartman. Hartman on the dribble through the corner now here to Rassler. Back out here to Jenko. Dominic on the dribble, spins, looks, goes now to Cruz with 9 on the shot clock. Travion Cruz around the screen, looking for help. Now to Rassler. Triple, good. Rassler off the bench with the second bomb. 19-15 Pilots, 11:32 to go in the first half.
And again, you've got to scout. The guy comes into the game, he's 4 of 9 from three-point range. So you know he can knock it down, and they're letting him hit it at will.
With the ball over on the right side now, Mahan goes over here to Washington. Washington traveled. Oh, they're going to call a foul on Rassler. I believe it was on Rassler.
Oh. He was standing still, and once the offensive player landed and it became a blatant travel, the official had to call something. So
let's put this in perspective. Rassler, who is transferred in from Lake Michigan College, averages 3.6 points a game and 1.6 rebounds, and he's already got a pair of triples on the resume tonight. Here's Miles Tracy trying to go into the corner, deflected around.
Yeah, like I said, he only averages 3.6 a game, but he's 4 of 9 from three-point range. He's putting the ball up often and from three-point range, and so you've got to get a hand up out there, especially after you knock down that first one.
A diamond in the rough, it looks like, for Coach Ryan Lightfoot.
Well, and I like defensively. He got his hand on a couple.
Here's the ball at the top now. Norrell Smith, his shot high off the iron. Rebound comes to Miles Tracy. There's the athleticism right there of the Titans. Ball deep left corner now. Smith, triple, hard off the iron. Once again, offensive rebound. Miles Tracy in a foul on Ryan Lutz.
Yeah, and Tracy fought for that first rebound, but he didn't fight any Pilots. He was fighting another Titan. It was all Titans' arms up there.
10:53 to go here in the first half, 19-15. It was Pilots in the midst, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, and an 8-0 run.
8-0.
And with the basketball now, Miles Tracy back out high now here to Smith. Smith on the handoff here to Meredith. Danielle Meredith, a product of Lawrence Central High School in Indianapolis, on the floor now. There he is right there. Meredith with the 3 ball, he scores! 19-18 at the 10:33 mark. Pilots by 1, and that ends the 8-0 run.
They are 4 of 6 from three-point range. Now there's Dom going to the rack.
Jenko with the score off the dribble drive. 21-18 Pilots.
Scouting. Dom is going to go to the basket 80% of the time. He may not shoot, but he is getting to the rack when he can.
With the ball at the top now, Kenny Washington. Washington gives way now here to Smith. Over on the left side to Meredith. Meredith on the drive. Lutz picks up, I believe that's his second infraction at the 10:07 mark. And immediately Trayvon Covington off the bench.
So IOSB had 3 fouls, I believe, in the first minute 38 of the game. And they've only had 1 foul since in the final. These last 8.5 minutes, 1 foul. On the other side, Pilots have now picked up 5 quick fouls.
Meredith 2 for 4 on the season. And his first free throw hard off the iron. With one more opportunity, as Lutz is probably going to spend the rest of the first half on the bench, similar to Dylan Allen, excuse me. Yep.
Allen's been sitting for a long time.
And one more opportunity for number 5. And the right-handed shot on the way, good, 1 of 2. 21-19 here at the 10:05 mark. With the ball now, Kyle Hartman, right wing, handoff to Covington. Back, they swing it inside to Paul Foreman. Foreman to the goal, missed the shot, rebound. Corralled here by the
Norrell
Titans.
Smith. Yeah. Paul's had a couple there on the basket that have been contested. He's been held off the scoreboard.
Meredith with the basketball around the back dribble, leaner, and he scores. We're all tied at Stan Mikitas, 21 all at the 9:35 mark.
Coach Cooper's done his scouting on the Pilot defense. You can tell he's telling his players, attack the basket, attack the basket.
Covington over to Jenko in the far corner, back here to Covington. Covington lobs it inside, now to Fisher. Fisher, and
that's a flop.
A tremendous acting performance by Norrell Smith. Give him the Oscar today.
2 fouls now on Luke. Turnover number 2 for the Pilots. I've called 2 IUSB games, well, 1.5 IUSB games now, and that is the second time that I've seen Norrell do that. Kudos to him if the officials are going to give it to him.
Some scores courtesy of our friend Jason Kuntz, who's keeping an eye on the football dynamics going on right now. New Palestine on top.
It's got to be 5 seconds.
Excuse me. New Palestine on top of Lafayette Harrison, 7-0 in the first quarter. Carmel on top of Snyder, 7-0 in the first quarter. And Bishop Chatard on top of Tri-West, 7-0 in the first quarter on a Football Friday.
You don't see that very often, a 5-second violation on a full court inbound.
And then the Pilots turn it over.
No, that was not Travion who hit that. That was knocked away by Kenny Washington. Turnover. Ryan's questioning that call. He's not going to win that argument.
No. Kenny Washington with the ball over the timeline now into the forecourt. Looking for some help. Comes back out to the top. And ball deflected by Kyle Hartman, but into the hands of Miles Tracy. Triple from the left side by Meredith. No good. Rebound, Kyle Hartman. Hartman on the push over the timeline now. Goes to Covington. Trayvon Covington back to Hartman at the point. Now to Travion Cruz. Lobs it inside, now to Foreman. Foreman with a spinner ram into the goal, and he scores. 23-21. Paul Foreman's first basket of the night comes at the 8:46 mark.
And we've talked about Cruz being held off the scoreboard, but he's only 0 for 2. That's what I like about him. He's not forcing it. Take what they give him. He's making his teammates better.
With the ball now here is Norrell Smith. Smith on the right elbow. Delivers the ball now to Danielle Meredith. And the ball deflected off of Kyle Hartman. And here's the guy that I think is going to have a great career at Bethel College. Not from a point standpoint, but from a guy who's going to bring you energy. And that's Jared DeHart, the 6'3 freshman from Indian Creek High School.
I like what they bring off the bench with him, Rassler, Hartman, Janko. They're not superstars. They play hard and play within the system.
And they're going to call an illegal screen on Miles Tracy at the top of the ring now.
Turnover number 7. Coach Cooper has a good point. One of my pet peeves about college basketball in general is players don't screen. They go act like they're going to screen and they slip because they don't like contact these days. That's what Coach Cooper's yelling. He knows his team doesn't screen well, so he said, can't be a moving screen if you don't make contact. Yes, the player was moving, but they just generally don't set a lot of screens.
Here's Travion Cruz with the ball at the top of the ring now. Darts past the defender, back out to Foreman, into the corner now to DeHart. Skip pass to Covington. Trayvon, step back three, good! 26-21, TBC at the 8:05 mark.
He's 5 of 6 on the floor. He's got 12 points, and everybody touched the ball that possession. What a nice offensive possession.
There's a pass over here now to Miles Tracy. Matched up against Cruz.
And again, that's a mismatch size-wise, but you can't take advantage of it because Trayvon's so strong.
Ball over here in the hands of Jackson Edwards. Now on the sideline. Ball into the hands of Meredith. Skip pass into the corner. Here's Will O'Connor for 3, and he scores! 26-24. Pilots win by 2 as the Titans never say die.
No, and O'Connor comes in a 60% three-point shooter. You've got to find him. He's got 9 on the season now.
Cruz over here now to Jenko around the screen. Jenko pull up 18-footer off the rim, no good. Rebound. DeHart hustles after it. Back out to Jenko. Into the hands of Cruz. Travion Cruz back to DeHart. Little jab step. Now to Cruz. Cruz is asking for the two-man game. This is where they're deadly. Cruz back to Foreman. Foreman with the jab step, 18-foot shot off the rim. And DeHart again with the muscle play. Oh, they call it. He never had possession of the ball. How can you call it travel? 7 minutes to go. First half. What a ball game. Pilots 26, Titans 24. We'll be back with more right after this.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Matty Copsey spinning the dials with us here tonight. Just some scoreboard updates. Pioneer on top of Triton, 14-0 in the first quarter. Bishop Dwenger, 13-0 over Angola in the first. And North Central on top of Warren Central, 7-0. Just underway in the first quarter there. Here's IU South Bend with a jump shot from the right side. Good from the corner there from Jackson Edwards. And the Titans have taken the lead back at 27-26.
Ball there, 6 of 10 from three-point range.
Covington for the three ball. Good as he answers the bell. 29-27.
He's 3 of 4 from three-point range. He's got 15 points in the first half.
What a shooting expedition for both teams. With the basketball now, Jackson Edwards, who hails from Knightstown. Went to Knightstown High School, of course, for people who are Indiana basketball fans well aware of it. Here's a score for Miles Tracy off the dribble drive to tie up the ball game, 29. That's where the Hoosiers gym is at from the movie. Dominic Jenko on the far wing now. Looks for help, goes here to Travion Cruz. Cruz for three, rattles it home. 32-29, Pilots with back-to-back.
Pilots say, take your 6 for 10 from three-point range. We'll just go 6 for 9. We'll one-up you.
Here's another three-point shot from the corner. No good. Cruz up court quickly. Cruz on the breakout. Cruz with the lob inside. The Trayvon Covington with the two-hand flush. 34-29. Trayvon Covington with a great first half.
17 points for Trayvon. Nice pass by Travion.
Well, here's Jackson with the basketball going on the far side. Now here to Jackson Edwards. Back out here left side now, Meredith. Meredith. Shot clock winding down now. Meredith. Shot, he double team. Shot right-handed hook. What happened there? He scores nonetheless, 34-31. Was that a block shot? And then he came down with the ball. Here's Cruz into the corner to DeHart. Triple, no good. Rebound. And they're going to call a foul on Paul Foreman. And multiple substitutions here for the Titans as Danielle Meredith checks out of the contest now. And back into the game will be Miles Simmons. Also exiting the floor will be Will O'Connor. And back onto the floor will be Norrell Smith. Rashawn Jackson along with Miles Tracy. And with the Pilots with 7 fouls, they'll put Miles Tracy, the former Cardinal Ritter Raider, at the charity stripe. And he'll go to the line now. He's a 66% free throw shooter. Free throw on one in bonus, no good. Ball into the hands of Trayvon Covington, who won the rebound battle.
Looks like Tom Visker's got some tape in his hands. He's going to put down the coaches' boxes. A little late for that.
Here's DeHart with the ball. Jump pass back here to Cruz. Cruz looking for help on the dribble. Drive, shot rejected into the first row.
Which looks nice, but if you would just put your hand up, block it, and get it go the other way, it'd be a lot nicer because Pilots retain possession.
A pair of former Bethel head coaches in the building today. Over there, the legendary Tom Firestone, Mike Lightfoot also in the building tonight. Here on Mike Lightfoot court, DeHart with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Fadeaway shot here near side from Rassler, no good. And here come the Titans. Rashawn Jackson over the timeline now. With a drive down the lane, spin around to the goal, and ball knocked away by Kyle Hartman. Here's Covington into the corner to Rassler. Now back to Covington. Covington on the drive, up and under, and he scores. He is a man possessed out there.
He's feeling it tonight. He's 8 of 9 from the floor. He's got 3 triples. He's got 19 points.
36-31, 5-point home team lead. Miles Simmons with the ball on the right wing. Drives, jump pass here to Jackson. Rashawn for 3, no good. Rassler the rebound. Some quality minutes for Gavin Rassler tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Gavin and DeHart have both played real well, as well as Janko.
Here's Cruz for the triple, no good. Rebound coming out high. Norrell Smith cleans the glass. The former Lake Central Indian. Cross-court pass now here to the former Warsaw Tiger, Rashawn Jackson. On the dribble drives, Miles Simmons backing it out to Hart. Bodies him up. And now back to Jackson. Quickly over to the far side, now to Edwards. Back out to the point, now here to Miles Tracy. Into the corner now, Miles Simmons. Shot clock winding down. You can hear Scott Cooper on this. Oh, what a spin him around up into the goal by Simmons. Only to lose the handle on it at the 3:02 mark with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Cruz picks up his first foul.
And that will send to the charity stripe Miles Simmons. Simmons, who went to Indianapolis Heron High School, transferred in from Parkland Community College, is 4 for 6 starting today's action.
Covington calling for a sub. He's gassed.
And with 3:02 to go, he's able to knock down that first free throw, 36-32.
The big fella Mahan checking back in for the Titans.
And one more opportunity for number 4. Averaging 10 points, 2 rebounds. Came in with 8 assists, 9 steals, and 7 turnovers on the resume.
Paul, in all your time calling Bethel basketball, do you remember a time that he went an entire first half and they did not shoot a single free throw?
Can't think of
they make a living at the foul line, but they have not been there today.
And especially after the quick start.
Yeah, 3 fouls in the first minute and a half, and yet.
Janko with the basketball on the far side wing, now dribbles to the point. Comes up high now to Foreman. Back to Kyle Hartman
nice
with
move.
a little drive, pass back to Foreman. Foreman back to Janko. Janko at the drive, shot blocked. He was knocked to the floor. And here comes Norrell Smith and company. Smith goes to the far side, now here to Simmons. Simmons on the jab step. Goes deep right corner. Smithy travel with the basketball. It's a good call because he shuffled those feet.
Yep, jab step, dribble. You got to put the ball down before you do that. Well, Pilots with 4 turnovers. I got IUSB with 9 turnovers. Is that correct, Matt? Matt says yes. So we'll go with that number.
Here is Kyle Hartman with a pass inside to Foreman. He shoots, spins off the glass, ball tipped out and into the hands of Rashawn Jackson. Jackson pushing it up, skips it over here to the far side, and he throws it away. 10 turnovers on the.
No, Hartman got a hand on that. Nope, that was a layup if Hartman doesn't hustle back and get a hand on that. So that's a good look by Rashawn, and Kyle was able to tip it out of bounds. A lot of guys would have given up on that play.
Both teams giving it a grade A effort tonight.
Absolutely.
It's been exciting to watch.
It's been a well-played game on both ends.
There's a pass out here now to Rashawn Jackson. Jackson goes inside to the low post. Kick back out to the far side. Shots a brick on the offering by Simmons. And here's Jenko. Now to Hartman. Hartman on the crossover. Back to Jenko. Jenko now to Rassler. Rassler triple way off the arm. And now the ball's into the hands of the Titans. Jackson Edwards gets it back out here now to Simmons. Simmons right wing. Now back out here around a screen from Mahan. Back to Rashawn Jackson. Back out to the top now, Simmons. Simmons looking for help. Back to the point now to Smith. Now to Simmons. Simmons on the step back. Going to take Jenko off the dribble. Back to Jackson. Jackson triple off the rim, no good. Travion Cruz the rebound. Cruz up court quickly now here to Kyle Hartman. Wrap around to the low post to Foreman. Foreman back out to Hartman. Hartman three ball, rims, no. Rebound ripped out of there nicely by Norrell Smith. And now with the basketball, Rashawn Jackson on the right wing. Back out to the point now to Miles Simmons. Simmons on the jab step, flares it over here to Norrell Smith, who launches the triple, missed it. Rebound, Kyle Hartman.
Now we're seeing what gets IUSB in trouble, though. They're settling for threes. Where early in the game they were getting them by drive and kick, penetrate and kick, and now they're just kind of settling. They're tired. It's late in the half.
Rassler goes to Cruz, back out to the point to Foreman. Hands it off to Hartman. Hartman on the drive. He's bodied up. That's a foul.
Yeah. Had the corner turned. That's going to be
16 foul, I believe.
Yep. So still no shooting. 33 on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock, so Pilots can hold it to the last shot for the most part if they'd like. Rassler's out of gas. He's played really well. I'm sorry, resets to 20 on a foul, which I like.
Cruz to inbound to the left of the lane from my vantage point here on press row. Cruz looking, comes back out high and out of Foreman. Gives way to Kyle Hartman at the point. Now back to Cruz. Inside now to Cruz. Cruz is going to try to back him in. Goes to Paul Foreman for the two-hand flush. 38-33, the big two-man game there.
Yes, somebody doubled and somebody didn't rotate. Paul said, I'm tired of all this finesse stuff not falling. I'm going to throw this one through for everybody.
Now ball in the hands of Jackson Edwards.
Over back.
And a turnover on the Titans.
Yep, he dribbled it in the backcourt. His whole body was across, and he dribbled it in the backcourt.
And now Ryan Lutz will check into the ball game for an opportunity to get a three-point shot. I'm sure that's what they're thinking right now, Coach, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Put him in for offense. If nothing else, it's going to take a defender away from the game you're playing 4-on-4 because you have to face guard him. So 10 turnovers for the Titans now.
Cruz now with the basketball with 7. Goes to Trayvon Covington. Asking for a screen. He's got the screen. He'll load up the triple. Off the rim. No good. 20 minutes are in the books here from Mike Lightfoot Court. A incredibly competitive first half for both ball clubs. Bethel takes a 38-33 lead into the locker room. We're going to get some thoughts here from Mr. Drew Schaus, and we'll do that right now. Boy, what an up and down effort. I'm tired just watching these guys, man.
Yeah, we kind of fell into their trap and wanted to play a kind of up and down, out of control style. So I think we got to get back to, tired our guys out a little bit. So our cuts weren't as good, our screens weren't as good. So we got to kind of getting back to being at a controlled tempo rather than helter-skelter up and down.
Mark asked me something that I can't answer. When was the last time a Pilot did not shoot a free throw in the first half? So no free throws in the first half. That's not part of the offense.
No, that is not. I think we drove the ball pretty well, but we've got to be aware they've got shot blockers. We're going to avoid contact, not into the contact. So we got to come to a jump stop, put our shoulder into them, and go up and finish.
All right. Biggest concern is what?
Biggest concern is we're falling into how they want to play the game. So we got to get back to how we play with our tempo that's more of a controlled tempo rather than fly up and down, get as many possessions in as we can.
So how do you change it?
We slow it down a little bit, and then we score, which gets us into our 100 press, 80 press, and then we go from there. But it's us executing offensively and knocking down easy layups and open shots.
All right, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. Once again, Drew Schaus sharing his thoughts on the first half. We'll be back with more right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense.
Winston Churchill's immortal words stirred an entire country in the face of certain defeat. Today, these words give each of us the courage to reach for our own victories.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never.
Commitment. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
They were outnumbered, out-equipped. They had no chance of winning, but they had one huge advantage: General George Washington.
The fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the courage and conduct of this army. We have to resolve to conquer or die.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Also, Matt Copsey spending the Friday night with us. We'll get you some scores and some other details of things that are going on here. That, of course, are first half stats presented by our friends at Teachers Credit Union.
They say growth is a journey and not a destination. At Teachers Credit Union, we agree. Helping our communities grow has been our mission ever since we began our journey in 1931. And supporting our members' growth has helped us to become Indiana's largest credit union. And we're just getting started. Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
Just some scores to pass along before we go over here to Matt. Interesting, some of them games going on just underway over at Ames Field. The Concord Minutemen have jumped out in front of the Michigan City Wolves, 7-0 at the 11-17 mark. I would say that Michigan City, the prohibited favor there. Mooresville on top of unbeaten Marion, 7-0 in the first quarter. Bishop Chatard leads Tri-West 14-7 in the first quarter. Unbeaten and top-ranked and defending champion Pioneer on top of Triton, 20-0 in the first quarter. And New Palestine on top of Harrison. Now check that. This one just in. This one tied now at 7-7. Bishop Dwenger leads Angola 13-0. North Central out of Indianapolis, a 7-0 leader over Warren Central in the first quarter. Carmel on top of Fort Wayne Snyder, 7-0 in the first quarter. And you are now up to date with Football Friday. Let's go over to Matt Copsey with our first half scoring. Matthew?
Thanks, Paul. Miles Tracy was 2 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from the free throw line for 4 points. Miles Simon was 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line for 10 points. Dylan Allen picked up those 2 quick fouls, did not score. Miguel Mannion, 1 of 1 from the field for 3 points. Rashawn Jackson was 0 of 2 from the field. Norrell Smith, 0 of 3 from the field. Danielle Meredith was 3 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line for 8 points. Kenny Washington was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Will O'Connor knocked down his only 3-pointer. And Jackson Edwards was 1 of 2 from the field for 3 points. IUSB was 11 of 22 for 50%. They were 5 out of 7 from the free throw line. They had, in the first half, they had 12 total rebounds. Norrell Smith led the way with 4. For the Pilots, Trayvon Covington was 8 of 10 from the field for 19 points. Trayvon Cruz was 1 of 4 from the field for 3 points. Ryan Lutz, 1 of 2 from the field, 2 points. Luke Fisher, 0 of 1 from the field. Paul Fisher, 2 of 5 from the field for 4 points. Gavin Rassler was 2 of 5 from the field for 6 points. Dominic Jenko was 1 of 3 from the field for 2 points. Kyle Hartman, 1 of 2 from the field, 2 points, and Jared DeHart was 0 of 1 from the field. Pilots were 16 of 33 from the field for 49%. They did not attempt a free throw, and in the first half they had 13 total rebounds, and no one had more than 2.
Centier Bank is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success through business and by servicing the communities of northern and central Indiana. Centier's not-for-sale promise pledges to the communities we serve that we will continue to preserve independent banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank is proud to serve the communities of northern and central Indiana. Please visit Centier.com for more information, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, member FDIC.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Coach, breaking down some of the numbers that we've been able to see thus far, and nothing really kind of jumping out at the page. But, you know, and just thinking about what Drew was talking, Drew Schaus, who was joined us earlier, was talking about the pace of the game. I think it kind of tells you what this Bethel team is really kind of, I know they're looking at it as a negative, but I also think it's a positive in a way because, okay, so you want to run up and down the floor with us? We can do that too, right?
Yeah, they can do that, and we talked about that a little bit in pregame. We knew that that's the tempo IUSB prefers, and the Pilots can certainly do it, but it's not their strength because they're not as deep, and so you want to save you guys minutes. You saw Rassler getting tired. He hit 2 of his first 3 shots. He missed his last 3 shots. You know, for IUSB, same thing. You can get up and down, and that's great, but are you conditioned to be able to be efficient in doing that? They were 6 of 10 from three-point range at one point, and they finished the half 6 of 15. So, you know, kudos to you for getting the tempo picked up and getting up and down. But on the other hand, if you're not scoring points and you're still down by 5, your shooting's down. So both teams were shooting above 50% with about 8 minutes to go in the half. Both teams going into the half at 45 and 44%. And so, you know, there's some positives, some negatives that go along with it.
We'll be right back after this. 38-33 Pilots at the intermission.
Centier Bank is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success through business and by servicing the communities of northern and central Indiana. Centier's not-for-sale promise pledges to the communities we serve that we will continue to preserve independent banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank is proud to serve the communities of northern and central Indiana. Please visit Centier.com for more information, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, member FDIC.
It's Gates' 90th birthday, but everyone gets to be part of the fabulous celebration. During the month of November, Gates will be giving away 20 tropical family cruise vacations, exciting Las Vegas getaways. And don't forget, you can win prizes like big screen TVs, gift cards, and Apple products. No purchases necessary, and you can register at any Gates location or online at www.gatesautomotive.com. Winners will be announced every week through November. If you're Scott Cooper, Coach, I really believe you have to feel very excited about the competitiveness of your group. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and this is the second time I've seen IUSB this year.
They didn't play this good against Concordia.
They didn't play this well against Cincinnati Christian. They should have won that Cincinnati. They played, and Coach Coop hit this in the pregame, they played this well for spurts of those previous games. But he said, can they put it together for 40 minutes? And we've seen that. You know, there's times where they look great for 5 minutes. But, yeah, from a 20-minute standpoint, thanks, Charlie, for a full 20 minutes, yeah, I think they put together a good half. They played smart. 10 turnovers, but, again, for a team that likes to get up and down the floor, you'll take that. You know, you're going to have some turnovers if you're playing aggressive. But they kept the Pilots off the foul line. They contained Travion Cruz, only 3 points, but, you know, he only shot 5 shots. You know, Foreman's got 4 points, so – yeah, I think they came in, and Covington went off. But, you know, if you're coming in, you're going, hey, this guy struggled all year, but you know that he's capable of doing this. And, you know, if one guy goes off and you contain everybody else, yeah, I think you're happy with the way you're playing.
So the question would remain, would you allow Trayvon Covington get 20 a game and take Travion Cruz out of the ballgame in regards to his scoring ability?
I don't know. I think it's one of those things that, in Covington's case, he's 8 of 10. It's not like he's got 20 and he's put up 20 shots. It's just he's hitting everything he's putting up there tonight. So I think, yes, you would let him shoot 10 shots and Cruz shoot 5 shots if you're coaching against the Pilots. That would certainly be my plan to give Covington twice as many shots as Cruz. Yeah, we got a runaway on the floor out there. Little man ran on the floor to see Travion Cruz.
Well, I think it's one of those instances where Coach Cooper is going to adjust at halftime and to try to keep Covington at bay now, and that might open things up for anybody else. Coach Cooper has to be happy in the sense that Dylan Allen, one of his leaders, played 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Absolutely.
And they're only down 5 points at halftime. So he has to – Allen is going to be able to come back in the second half, and that's points that they're going to be able to get. I think what Bethel needs to do a better job of is not giving them the second and third opportunities.
And I'll hit the volley back at you, Matt. Lutz picked up 2 fouls, so he ended up on the bench, only played 7 minutes and 45 seconds. But I think what we could say is, despite 2 of those better players only being on the floor by a total of 9 minutes, how about the kids who came off the bench?
Oh, yes.
We saw some
big
good
plays
basketball. From both ends. And you go back to Covington. I don't know if there's a lot of adjustment. He scored on 2 backdoor cuts because people were so focused on where the ball was, and he was being active. So often we see guys stand around and watch, and gals in the women's basketball game, they just watch what's going on. Trayvon was active, and he got those, and then he got the alley-oop on the breakaway.
He got 3 of 5 from three-point range, and 2 of those that he hit, he was wide open. There was nobody around him. So, if anything, Coach Cooper's going to tell you, run out, put a hand in his face.
We're going to take our final timeout, and we'll come back with more. 38-33 at the intermission. Bethel over Indiana University South Bend, right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union, financial solutions. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
Centier Bank is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success through business and by servicing the communities of northern and central Indiana. Centier's not-for-sale promise pledges to the communities we serve that we will continue to preserve independent banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank is proud to serve the communities of northern and central Indiana. Please visit Centier.com for more information, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, member FDIC.
This scoreboard update courtesy of our friends at Centier Bank. Some scores more coming in here on a Football Friday. It is Regional Championship Friday. Eastbrook on top of LaPel 14-0. Carmel on top of Snyder 10-zip. Bishop Dwenger has extended its lead over Angola in the second quarter 16-0. Bishop Luers leads Marion in the first quarter 7-0. Indianapolis Cecina Memorial leads Western Boone 7-0 in the second quarter. Bishop Chittard on top of Tri-West 28-7 in the second quarter. Center Grove leads Avon 7-0 in the second quarter. And New Palestine is leading Harrison 14-7 in the second quarter. Matt, any thoughts on those particular games? Still a lot of football to play here on a Friday, but still some interesting
I'm really surprised that Dwenger, the way that they've come out against Angola. They struggled offensively last week, and I don't know if the weather had a lot to do with it, but the fact they're up 16-0 on Angola is very surprising.
All right, we're back to live play. Pilots white jerseys, white shorts, and they have the basketball. Here's Paul Foreman with a three-point shot, skims off the front of the iron. On the floor for Bethel to start, it's Cruz, Lutz, Trayvon Covington, Paul Foreman, and Luke Fisher. Indiana University South Bend has Jackson Mahan, Dylan Allen, Miles Simmons, and Miles Tracy on the floor. And we're ready to go. Once again, IU South Bend, dark red jerseys, black numbers trimmed in white. They have the ball moving from left to right, and here's a jump ball scenario. And tell you what, Dylan Allen not happy because he was tripped and fell awkwardly on his, just felt awkwardly. Let's put it to you that way.
Well,
he's singing at a higher octave right now.
And he got tripped. It was inadvertent, but yeah, he got tripped, and then he took the so the official doing the right thing here, kind of like when the umpire stalls for the catcher, kind of walking around, giving him a minute. 8 on the shot clock.
IU South Bend to inbound. Out here, here's Jackson with the ball. Now over here, now to Simmons. Shot clock winding down. Off balance shot is going to be off the side of the backboard. Here come the Pilots. From right to left, Trayvon Covington, three-point shot, right corner, good. Pilots' biggest lead is on the score sheet right now at 41-33.
Yeah, so first possession, the Pilots settle for a Paul Foreman. Here's Dylan Allen going coast to coast. That's going to be a blocking call. Yep. Paul was sliding on that one.
Paul picks up his second personal foul, and you could tell right now that Dylan Allen has a chip on his shoulder here and made up his mind right from the get-go that he was going to take that straw into the rack, and he'll earn a pair of free shots here at the 18:57 mark of the second half.
Yeah, not a good start for either team, though, with Foreman shooting three on the one end, and then the Titans come down here and get basically a shot clock violation. Got it off the side of the backboard, and they don't go down and find Covington, who drops another three, and then Foreman picks up his second foul. So Dylan Allen, I think, is going to make up for lost time. He's playing aggressive. You can see that in the first minute of play.
Allen's second free throw, good. He nails them both. 41-35, the home team. Travion Cruz with the ball over the timeline now into the forecourt on the far right wing. Around a Foreman screen, looking, still on the look. Waiting for the two-man game to develop. Here's Foreman driving to the goal, shooting, and a whistle. And a foul whistled on the Titans inside. I believe they'll call that on Miles Simmons, the 6'3 junior.
Trip the shooters. The Pilots will head to the free throw line.
And Foreman going to the line, and mark it down if you're scoring at home. The Pilots' first trip to the charity stripe comes at the 18:42 mark of the second half. Foreman's free throw was good, giving his club a 42-35 advantage. Michigan City has tied up Concord over at Ames Field at the 2:43 mark of the first quarter. We're deadlocked 7-7. There's a spinorama around the cylinder. Took off a whole bunch of orange paint for Paul Foreman.
But it counts like it was nothing but net, right?
Yeah, no question. Pilots are going to come out with a little bit of pressure here now. Ball on the far side. Miles Simmons up the right sideline now. Goes deep left corner to Jackson. Jackson shovels it inside, and the ball ricochets to Allen in the deep right corner. Allen with a drive, a shot, and a score, and a foul call. Trayvon got beat right off the dribble. And Ryan Lightfoot, scowl, could kill a cow. Oh, my.
Yeah. Dylan Allen off the scoreboard in the first half. Only played about a minute and a half. He's now on the line looking to get his fifth point here in the first minute and a half of the second half.
He'll have one more opportunity. He started all 5 games, only a freshman, averaging 15 points, 2 rebounds, and assists per ball game. Second free throw, no good.
Sophomore.
Or sophomore, excuse me.
Oh, there's a steal. Bad pass by Luke Fisher.
And a score for Miles Tracy, 43-39, off the Bethel turnover at the 18-14 mark. And now here's Cruz with the ball. Handing it off now to Lutz around the screen. Back to Covington. Goes inside to Travion Cruz. Skip pass back to Lutz for 3. No good. A rebound into the hands of Miguel Mahan. Now ball at the top. Now Dylan Allen. Allen back out to the point now here to Miles Tracy.
Covington cannot pick up his third foul the way he's playing offensively.
Oh, there's a travel, no call. Here's a drive inside and a dunk attempt. And what was the call there?
Luke's going to pick up his third foul. You got 4 Pilots playing with 2 now. Luke's playing with 3.
And at the 17:41 mark, Fisher with another foul. And looks like Gavin Rassler is going to check in. But to the line will be Miguel Mahan. 0 for 4 at the line thus far on the season. And the left-hander eyes, flies, knocks it down. So much for the 0 for 4. It's now 43-40, 17:41 to go. The Titans in the midst of a 5-0 run.
Correction there. Covington only has 1 foul. Scoreboard's wrong up there. So Trayvon only has 1 foul.
Second free throw no good, so 1 of 2. And with a 3-point lead, Bethel has the ball in hand in the forecourt. Cruz at the top. Goes now to Gavin Rassler, left wing, inside of the low post to Foreman. Foreman's going to back in, spins, lanes, shoots, missed the shot, but he's hammered. The big fella will go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws. And once again, Drew Schaus talked about the importance of getting to the line, and that's exactly what they've done here in this one.
Yeah, getting to the line, and What Paul does so well is he uses his shoulder. It's an offensive foul in my opinion when he spins, but he's so strong and stays so compact when he does it that he doesn't extend himself like an elbow.
Free throw good for the big man, and it's now 44-40 here at the 17-24 mark. He'll have one more opportunity. He came into today's game, Coach, shooting only 64%.
Yeah, which is down for Paul for his career. He's a good free throw shooting big man. Mahan picked up his second foul on that one.
45-40.
Full court pressure again by the Pilots.
Allen over the timeline now into the forecourt. Guarded by Trayvon Covington. Comes up to the right elbow now here to Mahan.
And that's Travion elbowed him right in the face. He's lucky that there's not video review for that because he absolutely went above the shoulders with that one.
And to inbound the ball to the right of the lane will be Allen. Looking for a cutter. Comes back out high here to Jackson. Jackson on the spinorama to the goal. Missed the shot. Trayvon Covington the rebound. Covington on the push-up. Finds Lutz. Traylor Rassler back to Lutz. Triple. No good. Rebound Allen in a track meet. Allen to the goal. Scores. 45-42.
Allen's got a little smile on his face, playing with a little swagger. And
he's had plenty of time to rest.
Yeah, he's in much better condition than everybody else at this point in the game.
Rassler at the top now. Goes to Trayvon Covington to Travion Cruz in the far corner. Comes around a screen. Travion with a little two-man game here to Foreman. He spins, kick back out here to Rassler. Rassler, ball reversal to Lutz left side. Stolen away by Miguel Mahan, who's there with the two-hand flush. 45-44. Titans have roared back here after just moments ago being down 9.
Sloppy pass, but frustrated that no Pilots hustled back. Here's Cruz with the answer.
And Cruz will earn 3 free throws as Miguel Mahan, the 6'7" junior from Baldwin High School, transferred in from Muskegon Community College, puts him at the line to shoot a 3. And so far for this guy, how about this, Coach? 20 of 21 on the year.
It's not bad.
And he converts the first of his opportunities.
Bethel bench was questioning why there wasn't a technical foul on Mahan as he pulled himself up, did a little circle on the rim there, and there was nobody underneath him on that breakaway.
47-44. One more opportunity as Mahan will come to the bench. And Cruz with his third shot in succession is able to convert the 48-44 score now. Simmons back to Allen and finally into the forecourt to Norrell Smith. Smith in between the rings, goes back to Allen on the far side. Allen in between the rings, goes up here to the right elbow to Miles Tracy. Tracy on the drive, and a foul whistled on Trayvon Covington.
It's going to be his second.
Timeout on the floor for yours truly. 15:49 to go here in the second half of play. 48-44, Bethel with the lead. We'll be back with more right after this brief timeout.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Country along with Coach Mark Gardner. Also, the Hall of Famer Matt Copsey hanging out with us here on the Friday. And a timeout whistle again here as they failed to get the ball in bounds. And on cue, it's time for a scoreboard update. Courtesy of Teachers Credit Union, a 3.99% intro rate, TCU Visa Platinum credit card. Visit them at tcu.com/apply. Warren Central and North Central tied up 7-7 in the second. Cedar Groves increased their advantage 14-0 over Avon. New Palestine on top of Harrison, now 17-2 in the second. Pioneer taking Triton out to the woodshed, 28-0 in the second. Bishop Dwenger is doing the same thing to Angola, 22-0 in the second. West Lafayette on top of Brebeuf, 7-0 in the first. Bishop Chittard, 35, Tri-West 7 in the second. Indianapolis Lutheran, a 15-0 leader over South Putnam, and Michigan City and Concord are tied 7-7. Three-point shot by Allen, no good. Lutz the rebound. Travion Cruz over the timeline now here at the point. To Lutz on the far wing. Three-point shot, good. 51-44 as Lutz was free.
Three things happened there. Cruz attacked the shooter. Foreman set a back screen for the shooter, and the shooter knocked down the open shot. Now Covington picks up his third foul. It's a silly foul there for Trayvon. You got to know the situation here.
Multiple substitutions. Covington coming to the bench. Hartman coming in. Lutz coming out of the game. DeHart coming in. And to inbound the ball here will be Norrell Smith, the 6'5" sophomore. And he, right in front of Matt Copsey, looking, goes to Allen in the backcourt. And he'll be hawked out there by Kyle Hartman. Allen one-on-one against Hartman over the timeline. Now goes to Jackson on the far wing. Back out to the punt, now to Tracy. Miles on the drive. Jump pass inside to Jackson. Jackson scores with the left hand. 51-46. 15:03 to go here in the second half.
It's good ball movement there on that elbow offense that IUSB ran. Some good back screens, good penetration.
DeHart goes back out to the top to Cruz. Now into the corner, now to Kyle Hartman. Hartman on the drive inside to Rassler, and he banks it up and in from the right block. Career night for Rassler.
That's great drive and dish by Hartman. It's a silly foul by Hartman. This is where you see Dylan Allen adding that dimension that they didn't have in the first half.
Indiana South Bend is going to be in the bonus from here on in at the 14:39 mark, and it's a team that's shooting 65%.
Let's think about this first half. They had 10 turnovers, and the Pilots had probably 4 or 5 tips on that full court press that weren't turnovers. They're still sitting at 10 turnovers 5.5 minutes into the second half, and Allen's been to the foul line, so he changes things.
Allen's free throw on one in bonus, misses.
If you're not going to knock down your free throws, though, it doesn't matter if you get there.
And now the ball into the hands of Lutz. Back out to Cruz. Cruz goes back to Hartman in the far corner. Hartman on the drive. Reverse layup, spins and scores. And that makes it now 55-46. Kyle Hartman.
How nice is it to bring a guy off the bench that started so many games last year?
Now with the ball, now Norrell Smith. Jump pass to Allen into the corner. On the dribble drive baseline, Simmons with the score. 55-48.
Pilots,
14:06 to go. Excuse me, Coach.
You're fine, Paul. Very undisciplined in their closeouts there on several occasions, and they finally got beat there for the layup.
Lutz on the right wing now goes to Kyle Hartman. Skip pass here to Cruz. Cruz with the jab step. Still on the jab, and he did travel. Good call by the official.
Yeah, I thought he should have shot the first one.
He doesn't show a lot of emotion out there. He's kind of gritting his teeth right now. I think he even realizes that one as Paul Foreman will check back into the contest now for Gavin Rassler. Well, Rassler giving the club a quality minutes tonight.
Yeah, he's 3 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range. Couple rebounds, 8 points, but just playing hard.
Need to take a. We haven't seen Jawan Carpenter tonight, which is kind of a surprise. We'll take a look at the career highs in minutes as well as numbers for Rassler. Here's a drive by Miles Tracy. Kick back out to Smith. His shot no good. Rebound into the hands of the hustling Jared DeHart. Hart over the timeline now. There's a play inside by Kyle Hartman for the leaner, and Kyle with back-to-back field goals has given his club a 50 57-48 lead at the 13 mark, and then IUSB comes right back and answers.
Dylan Allen with
Dylan
the finish.
Allen.
11 minutes played was Wrestlers high before this game.
You know,
played 9.5 in the first half.
Jared DeHart has won a 6 true freshman pilot since 1993.
Hartman again. Oh, what a pass.
Oh, to Cruz.
Cutting Hartman, a little behind the back pass to Cruz. Kyle Hartman has been a difference maker this half.
Now over the timeline now. Here's an interesting note on DeHart we'll get to. Ball here on the right side now to Miles Tracy. Tracy with the crossover. Leaning left-handed shot, no good. DeHart with the rebound. Up court quickly now. Cruz into the corner to Lutz. Lutz for 3. Off the rim he goes. Rebound. Titans. They're going to break it out now. Here's Miles Simmons on the drive. Stops. Cut off nicely there. And now they'll re-engage the offense to Allen on the far wing. Allen stepping out. Ball reversal to the far side to Simmons. Simmons foul line extended life. Now they go inside to Tracy. Oh, nice give and go to Simmons, and he scores. 59-52 Bethel.
I was telling Matt at halftime, we've seen so many games over the past few years where teams just stand around. This has been well played by both teams, being active away from the ball, finding the open man, knocking down the open shot.
Cruz with the ball here near side, goes inside of the low post to Foreman. Now to Hartman, cutting down the lane, back to DeHart for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Norrell Smith. Smith over the timeline now. Looking, goes into the corner now here to Simmons. Simmons around a screen and a whistle away from the ball on who? Lutz picks up his 3rd infraction. And at the 11:37 mark, that'll send Norrell Smith to the line. Smith, a 54% free throw shooter.
Not a bad foul if he holds true to form. So here's that stat you were talking about. Jared DeHart is one of 6 true freshman pilots since 1993 to have multiple steals in 3 of his first 5 career games. How about this crew? Matt Schaus, Nick Lewis, Tyler Brown, Chad Atkins, and Randy Romer.
Here's the free throw, good. 59-53 here at the 11:37 mark.
Smith's first point of the game.
Scott Cooper, his mom and dad are here today, and across the way with his beautiful wife Janelle and the little baby Olivia are here. We've got an all in the family thing going on here for the Coopers. 59-54. And if you ever, you know, Coop's a big guy, about 6'7" or so, and look at his dad, and he's about 6'9" over there.
I didn't know who that was, but I saw him earlier, and I thought, boy, that guy, he's a big fellow when he walks in.
Yeah, he is. Really nice group of people. There's a pass inside now here to Foreman in the corner. Foreman, and had it stripped away by Allen. And nice play by Allen on the defensive end. Dominic Jenko checked in at that last dead ball for Bethel.
Bad decision by Paul. Good play by Allen.
Also, Will O'Connor checked into the Titan lineup. Here is Hartman with the ball at the top with the crossover. Hands it over to Cruz. Cruz loads up the 18-footer, then knocks it down. 61-54. Cruz has scored the last 2 pilot baskets.
And he didn't think that one. He just got it and shot, which I wish he'd do a little bit more often. So
Allen with the ball here. Goes right side now to Miles Simmons. Back out to the top now to O'Connor. O'Connor had ball knocked away. Good anticipation by the guy who's wearing jersey number 5 over there, Kyle Hartman.
Cruz almost got the pass in front of us. DeHart almost got the one at the top of the key, and then Hartman finally got a hand on that one. So Pilots are being a little aggressive, jumping the passing lanes.
O'Connor gives way now here to Dylan Allen, the former Beech Grove Hornet, gives up here to Miguel Mahan. Back to Allen, face guarded by Hartman. Allen, reversal to the far side to Simmons. Shot way off the iron. Rebound deflected into the hands of Foreman. And then Foreman had it stolen away from behind. Nice hustle play by Danielle Meredith. Meredith on the drive. Kick out into the corner now here to Simmons. Back to Allen for three. It's a brick. Now Travion Cruz will push it up. Travion is going to hesitate. Crosses over, gives way now to Jenko. Jenko on the drive, not a Foreman. 12-foot shot off the good, and Jenko tips it out of bounds. It'll be Titan ball.
That situation where Mahan didn't get the block, but he certainly altered that shot, forced Paul to shoot it higher than he wanted to, and the shot came off short.
It's 10-17 to go here in regulation. Pilots 61, Titans 54. Bethel had the biggest lead of the ballgame at 41-33, but it's been a tightly contested affair. Miguel Mahan at the top. Goes over here on the near side wing to Simmons right in front of our vantage point. Simmons now gives way to Allen. Foul line extended left. 8 on the shot clock. Allen on the drive. Running one-hander, no good. Rebound, Foreman tips it out into the hands of Meredith. Now a whistle and a foul on the Pilots again.
Send him to the foul line. Hartman picks up his third. Can't play this aggressive when you have so many guys with 2 fouls or 3 fouls already.
Gavin Rassler returns to the Bethel lineup, the 6-foot junior from Niles, Michigan, and Foreman will come to the bench. And number 5, Danielle Meredith, Lawrence Central High School, outstanding football player in high school. And the right-handed free throw, good, 61-55 at the 9:47 mark. Bethel with the advantage. And one more for Meredith. Meredith averaging 4 points, 3.5 rebounds a game, and he's able to close out a pair of free throws, 61-56.
When you look at these 10 players on the floor right now, only 3 of these 10 players played last year for these two teams. A lot of new faces, a lot of talent.
Cruz going over to DeHart. Jared DeHart comes back to Kyle Hartman. Ball reversal to Jenko. Jenko on the drive and a whistle. A foul called on Danielle Meredith.
What's Dom going to do when he gets the ball? He's putting it on the rack, and he's not scoring a lot of points, but what he does by doing that, he forces the help side defense. He's fine. He's playing, kicks out to the shooter. DeHart missed the 3 last time, but I like how aggressive Dom is.
DeHart checks out of the contest now, and back in is Trayvon Covington.
Reminds me of assistant coach Drew Schaus when he played. He was attacking the basket.
Here's Hartman on the drive inside. Shot rejected. That looked like that would have been a goaltend.
Yeah, that one might have been up there on the glass.
Get out the Windex and the Bounty and clean it up. Now here's Allen to the top. Swings it over to the far side to Meredith. Meredith around the back dribble. Drive down the lane. Left-handed shot, no. Rebound tipped up and fouls whistled on who?
It's going to be Trayvon picking up his 4th foul, I believe.
The one thing that Scott Cooper, we did the IU South Bend women's game last night against Great Lakes Christian, so we were there during practice, and he really challenged his student athletes yesterday in practice about playing hard all the time, that they were going to have to play hard for 40 minutes, and I think they ran a lot yesterday, and I think they got the message.
And you can tell that their game plan has been get to the basket against these Pilots, take advantage of that length. They're bigger at every position. Paul Foreman's wider than Mahan, but Mahan's longer, and has altered Paul's shot. He blocked Hartman's shot. And now you got Trayvon sitting. Trayvon 19 first half points, only 2 points here in the second half.
So 3-point ball game now on 4 straight field goals for the visitors from South Bend. And now Jenko with the ball on the far side wing. Comes around a screen, back out to Gavin Rassler. Now to Hartman on the near wing. Wrap around to the low post now here to Foreman. Back to Cruz. Cruz stops. Jump pass to Rassler on the far wing. Back to Foreman. Back to Jenko. Jenko with 8. Jenko with the crossover. Finds Cruz. Cruz pull up 16-footer hard off the iron. Ball tipped out by here. Here's Cruz with the ball. Cruz on the drive. Shot. Score it. 63-58. Cruz, the last 3 baskets for the Pilots.
Yeah, he's 3 of 4 this half, and Foreman won't get credit for the rebound, but he did his best Wes Leidig impersonation there, tipping that out to keep it alive for his team. Extra possession.
Oh, that's got to be a foul there.
And that's terrible decision.
why is Rassler 27 feet from the basket bodying up Rashawn Jackson?
Yeah, Rashawn's not going to hit that jumper out here in front of us. He might take it, but he's probably not going to hit it. So back off and let him run the offense.
Yeah, but Jackson now will go to the line here at the 8:15 mark, and it's been a parade to the line for the Titans. Jackson missing one here.
Yeah, they were 14 of 19.
Yeah, they're 14 of 20 now. Bethel is 7 for 7.
Yeah.
One more for Jackson.
The old Bob Knight rule. If you can make more free throws than your opponent takes, you have a good chance of winning.
Jackson 1 of 2. 63-59. And now here's Kyle Hartman over the timeline now into the forecourt. Hawked out there by Dylan Allen. Comes back to Gavin Rassler. Now to Dominic Jenko on the left wing. Dominic comes back out top to Travion Cruz. To Rassler, back to Hartman. Hartman on the dribble drive to Jenko. Jenko 3 off the arm. Hartman keeps it alive. Hartman with the ball on the right wing now. drives, looks for help, tracks down the loose pumpkin. Now to Rassler. Rassler, maybe a bad time for a Bethel timeout. Here's Rassler, now to Cruz. Cruz, one-on-one against Allen with 14 on the shot clock. Cruz shoots one over him, and a foul called on Allen. And now here's Allen just giving a forearm shiver into the chest of Cruz. At the 7:33 mark, we have a timeout on the floor. 7:33 to go, and we have immediate timeout. We'll be back with more of college basketball live from Mike Lightfoot Court. More things coming your way right after this brief timeout. You are listening to the Regional Radio Sports Network. Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org. Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. We'll get you a scoreboard update from all the football regionals. Cruz will go to the line here at the 7:33 mark. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. No Pilot has scored besides Cruz since the 12:49 mark of the second half.
Let's hit a bucket. Let's hit a three, and that was the last one.
Okay, so Cruz 1 of 2, making it 64-59. Valpo has jumped in front of Crown Point 7-0 in the first quarter.
Cruz now with 13 points on the evening.
Jackson with the triple, no good. Dominic Jenko the rebound. Now to Cruz. Cruz over the timeline now. Pull up 18-footer off the rim, no good. Rebound, Dylan Allen. Allen will pull it back out. Allen on the drive. Shot blocked partially by Cruz, and then the ball goes off of Paul Foreman out of bounds. Some other scores to pass along. West Lafayette has increased their advantage over Brebeuf 14-0. Adams Central over Monroe Central at the half. Lures is on top of Mishawaka Marion now, Matt, now 21-0. Also, North Central, Warren Central tied 14-14 at the intermission. Southridge over Paoli 14-7 in the second.
Going to get another 5-second violation.
Here's Cruz doing a nice job again, keeping
and this
hand
is where
in the passing lanes.
Your inability to set screens makes it hard to inbound the ball, which is unfathomable at this level. I don't get, just put a body on somebody and you should be able to inbound the ball. It's not like the Pilots are playing real aggressive defense.
Dylan Allen to inbound to the right of the lane again. Comes over here now to.
Oh, man. Allen just drilled Hartman.
Allen with a basketball, goes to our right side now here to Simmons. Simmons around the screen, goes to Rashawn Jackson. Jackson into the far corner now to Meredith, 9 on the shot clock. Meredith on the drive, kick back out here to Mahan. Mahan triple off the iron, Kyle Hartman. 6:41 to go, Bethel by 5. Hartman, top of the ring. Goes left side now to Jenko. Jenko on the dribble, stops. Low post pass now to Foreman inside to Cruz, and Cruz is hammered. That's a good foul, too.
Yeah.
Because Cruz was going to get a wide open Tooby.
And he's a good foul shooter, but you can tell that
he's frustrated.
They're playing aggressive with him, and he's doing a good job of keeping his composure. But I agree. I think there's certainly an attempt to get inside his head, and he's doing his best to not let it show.
And Miles Simmons is giving him the mouth right now ever since he's been standing there. His free throw was good, making it 65-59. One more opportunity for the former Fort Wayne Northside Redskin. I think they're called the Legends now, Matt. Does that sound about right?
You are correct, sir.
But I think when he was there, they were the Redskins.
3 years ago, they changed.
So that would have been right about the time, right?
Yep.
Cruz makes both of those free shots, making it 66-59. Allen with the ball over the timeline now.
Just like the look in Travion's eyes. When you can just tell he was ready to go.
Oh, nice backdoor play attempt, but couldn't connect on the Tracy to Simmons. Good idea, but
Simmons wanted the lob. Simmons wanted the
That's
dunk.
their first turnover of the second half.
Wow. Yeah,
They
right
have 11,
idea.
Bethel has 8.
Here's Kyle Hartman, one-on-one again for Sean Jackson over the timeline now. Flares out here to
Gotta get
Cruz.
Paul.
Cruz inside to Paul. Over here to Rassler for the field goal. 68-59. Scott Cooper needs a timeout.
And it was all created by Hartman beating his man off the dribble. Everybody had to rotate over. Great job by Cruz finding the wide open Foreman, who unselfishly found Rassler for the easy two.
Smith with the ball, handing it off now here to Simmons. Simmons back out to the top to Tracy. Back to Allen, triple, good. That's a huge basket. 68-62, huge basket for Indiana University South Bend from Dylan Allen. We're going to once again thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group for making it happen. Coach?
It's Gates' 90th birthday, but everyone gets to be a part of the fabulous celebration. During the month of November, Gates will be giving away 20 tropical family cruise vacations. Exciting Las Vegas getaways. In addition, you can win prizes like big screen TVs, gift cards, and Apple products. No purchase is necessary, and you can register at any Gates location or online at www.gatesautomotive.com. Winners will be announced every week through the month of November.
Matt, your impressions so far here going down the stretch?
Well, the one thing is I think IUSB, that was a big three they needed because they seemingly were getting a little lethargic offensively. They were kind of trying to press the issue. Bethel had equaled their biggest lead of the ball game at 9. I just like the way Bethel's ball movement is going around. I think Kyle Hartman is a much improved player from last year to this year because he's more aggressive. Last year he looked more to pass than to shoot. This year he's looking to do both.
Yeah, two stats that jump out at me. The Pilots have 19 assists on their 25 baskets, which goes to what you said. Remember, IUSB started 6 of 10 from three-point range. That one right there ended in 11 straight misses. They're now 7 of 22 from three-point range. When the three ball drops, they're tough to beat.
And that's part of their game is that sometimes they quote-unquote live and die by the three.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, they have height. They should be taking advantage. Bethel, they're already they've been in the bonus since the 13-minute mark.
Bethel averages 14 assists per ball game, and as you alluded to, now 19. Now Hartman will walk it up into the forecourt. Hands it off to Lutz, who's been sitting, and goes up high now to Foreman, fakes the backdoor pass.
And let's
Foreman
remember,
now goes inside now to Cruz.
Covington's been sitting a long time, and the Pilots have not missed a beat.
Cruz with a jump shot, no good. Rebound, Norwell Smith of Indiana South Bend. Now Allen with the ball on the far wing. Stepping out, he goes over here to Smith. Smith looks to go back door, but comes out high, and that one is going to be over and back.
Had his foot on the half-court line. Actually, Coach Cooper, I think he did. Coach Cooper's open for a tip, trying to say that his young man would not throw that bad of a pass, but I really think it was a lazy pass by Harrell. It just went to the backcourt.
Now here's Kyle Hartman, still on the right wing, goes now to Cruz over there on the far wing. Back out to Paul Foreman at the point. To Kyle Hartman on the left wing.
Got to try and get the ball to Lutz, get that fourth foul on Dylan Allen.
Here is Paul Foreman with a drive.
Nice move.
Shot. The finger roll is no good. Oh, that's a killer. That's when he's got to tomahawk that one down.
Yeah, he did everything right. Had the smaller defender on him, gave him the pump fake, stepped through, and just couldn't finish.
Now ball into the top now. Here's Miles Tracy. Back to Allen for three. Good. 68-65. Dylan Allen has shot him right back into the ballgame with 4:31 on a pair of triples.
Yeah, but he's playing aggressive, and I think the Pilots have got to get the ball to Lutz down to the low post to see if you get that fourth foul on Allen. There's a foul on Lutz.
And Lutz lowers his shoulder.
Well, Norrell Smith just flopped again. He ran into Lutz and fell down like there was, and he's laughing over there as he inbounds the ball. Look.
And
Norrell Smith 2, officials 0 on this one.
Academy Award winning performance, and Lutz will come out of the ballgame with his fourth foul. Correct?
That is 4 on Lutz.
4 on Lutz, 4 on Covington.
3 on Hartman.
And we have not seen
Luke Fisher at all.
Here is Dylan Allen going out here to the far side wing. Now to Smith. Gives way to Jackson. Jackson to the top now to Tracy. Backdoor pass to Allen for the shot. No good. Rassler the rebound. Now to Travion Cruz. Cruz with the drive. Shovels it over here. And the clock stops at the 3:58 mark. And going to the free throw line is Cruz.
Narell Smith picks up his foul. That's a good foul. Narell stopped the ball. Make him earn it. You knew Travion was going right to the rack, so Smith picks up his first.
68-65 ball game as Cruz is at the line.
He's 6 of 7 from the foul line, I believe, tonight.
Got the shooter's roll there. 69-65. Bremen on top of Whiting in the early stages of that game, Matt.
8 of 9.
8 of 9. And would you guys agree that Travion's not had a great night again, right?
No.
I'm looking at the score sheet. 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds.
He's been very quiet because Trayvon Covington took all the bows early on, and then he picked up his 4th foul.
But you look at the
Cruz
assists and
has picked
rebounds.
the spots.
Yeah.
Timeout on the floor, Bethel. Let me give you the update on these regional football championships going on the Hoosier State. West Lafayette on top of Brebeuf 14-3. Castle leads Columbus East in the first quarter 6-0. Bremen on top of Whiting 7-0 in the first quarter. Lowell and Mishawaka, no score at the end of one. Michigan City on top of Concord now 20-14, 8:38 to go. Now check that. No, that was right. Valpo a 7-6 leader over Crown Point. And I think I got everything up to date than what we had earlier in the ballgame. So our score here, 3:58 to go. Bethel 70, Indiana University South Bend 65. This was a Bethel timeout at the 3:58 mark.
So they played even here in the second half, right? Pilots had a 5-point halftime lead.
They had 38-35 at the intermission. Yep.
38-33.
38-33.
Okay, so you've played 16 minutes of even basketball, and again, from our perspective, we do about 60 games a year together. And I just feel like this is one of those games that both teams have competed, done some good stuff. It's been a fun game. Both coaches have got to be happy with what's going on, but yet one of them is going to go home unhappy 4 minutes from now.
Exactly. Now, coming onto the floor will be Gavin Rassler, Travion Cruz, Dominic Jenko, Kyle Hartman, and Paul Foreman. Indiana South Bend will have Rashawn Jackson, Dylan Allen, Norrell Smith, Miles Tracy, and Miles Simmons.
I think the key is you've seen Covington picked up his 4 fouls, and he's had to sit down, and the Pilots are doing just fine. When Dylan Allen's not on the floor, IOSB's a different basketball team.
No question. Here's Miles Simmons with the ball. Gives it away here to Dylan Allen. Goes up high here to the elbow, now to Tracy. Tracy looking for help. Still on the look. Wrap around to Jackson, and a foul on Gavin Rassler.
Easy goal.
Yep. And with 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go, they're going to put Rashawn Jackson at the line. Jackson came into today's action 5 of 8 at the charity stripe. And the former Warsaw Tiger, who's averaging 7 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2 assists per ball game, will go to the line, and he misses the free throw. He's now 1 for 3.
And he had good position on Gavin. Gavin just needs a D up. He reached around center of the line. Fortunately for the Pilots, he missed.
And one more for number 40. The right-handed shot is good. So he was 1 of 2, 70-66. Cruz over the timeline now. On the dribble, jump pass back to Rassler. Gavin, 3, no good. Rebound, knocked away on the breakout. Norrell Smith. Smith drives, and shot no good. Rebound in the hands of Cruz. Cruz with a 2-on-1.
He's going to the rack.
Cruz over to Jenko for the layup.
And 1.
72-66 as Dominic scores at the 3:22 mark. And with 3:22 to go, that'll catapult the Pilots to a 6-point lead with a free throw opportunity forthcoming. And Dominic on the year, a 61% free throw shooter.
What a turn of events, though. Norrell Smith has an easy drive to the rack. Rassler kind of gets in the way, alters the shot a little bit. Janko comes up, and then the Pilots go the other end and get the 2. So 4-point swing there in that play. I did not like that 3-point shot by Rassler, though. Reminded me of some of Paul Foreman's his freshman year, shooting a big 3 when it wasn't necessary.
Simmons goes to the right elbow, now here to Tracy. Now to Smith. Smith looking for help. Bodied over there.
Good
what a
defense,
job by
Kyle
Hartman in the far corner.
Yeah.
Body. He's just face guarding Dylan Allen.
Yeah, he'll play 4-on-4 basketball.
Ball over here. Smith, long 3. Off the rim, no good. Foreman the rebound.
It's a big possession right there.
72-66, the home team, as Cruz comes over here, and Coach Ryan Lightfoot, with a record of 27 wins and 10 losses, will take a timeout at the 2:43 mark, and we want to thank our friends at Gates for their support of our broadcast here today.
During Gates' 90th birthday celebration, choose from over 1,000 new and used cars, including Toyota RAV4s, along with the Chevy Equinox. The Traverse just for $9,990. You can also choose from Toyota Camry, Chevy Cruze for as little as $10,990. Or how about the big Chevy Silverado starting at just $259 a month. Still family owned and managed now by 4th generation. Gates has been fair, friendly, familiar, and has served millions of loyal customers for the past 90 years.
Matt, this is a big surprise. Concord 21, Michigan City 20, 5:19 to go in the second quarter. You and I had Michigan City going another round, but Craig Kaler's Minutemen are fighting it out.
Craig Kaler's Minutemen at the end of the regular season went down to Warsaw, got beat 45-3, made some personnel changes, and things have worked out for him during the postseason so far.
Cruz with the basketball on the right side wing, looking for help, asking for the two-man game setup. Cruz still looks, ball reversal now to Kyle Hartman, now to Paul Foreman, back out to Cruz. Cruz wrap around again to Foreman. Foreman's going to back in, drive, shoots, scores, 74-66.
I think that's a shot clock violation.
The flop didn't work for him that time.
No, the flop did, but I question whether Paul got that off before the buzzer sounded.
Here's Simmons back out top now to Smith. Smith goes to Dylan Allen. Allen looking for help, double team. Allen still on the dribble, leans, shoots, scores, and he was fouled. Nice play by Dylan Allen at the 2-minute mark to keep his club in contention here. And Foreman will pick up the foul.
About the second
Paul's
half.
third foul.
Dylan Allen, 16 points down the second half.
Just out of curiosity, guys, what is the foul differential?
Pilots have 22, Titans have 14, I believe.
Allen, how about Allen?
Yeah, 17 second half points.
A three-point basket at the 5:40 mark, a three-point basket at the 4:31 mark, and now an old-fashioned three-point play here at the 2-minute mark. Dylan Allen, an absolute difference maker for the Titans.
Yeah, without him, who knows where they're at here in the second half. He's been dominant. On the other end, Paul Foreman matched up against Norrell Smith. Isn't much of a matchup, so Norrell went to the flop because that was kind of his only defense there. But Pilots have to keep being patient with the ball, swing the ball, use some clock, but don't get too, you're not trying to run the clock out. You just want to be patient.
They say growth is a journey and not a destination. At Teachers Credit Union, we agree. Helping our communities grow has been our mission ever since we began our journey in 1931. And supporting our members' growth has helped us to become Indiana's largest credit union. And we're just getting started. Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
Paul Condry, Mark Gardner, and Matt Copsey with you. Thanks again to the talented Tiny Condry with taking care of all the details up there. To our camera guy, Ben, thank you so much for an excellent work. Michigan City has jumped back in front of Concord, 27-21 as the shootout at Ames Field goes on.
Full court press here by the Titans. You've seen Norrell Smith just leaning on DeHart, holding him.
And now here's Cruz with the basketball. Cruz one-on-one against Simmons over the timeline. Now go to Hartman here on the near side. Hartman hands it off now to Lutz. Lutz goes back to Kyle Hartman on the far side wing. Hartman on the dribble. Looks, shovels it over to Jared DeHart. DeHart flares over to the far side where he underhands it to Hartman. Hartman on the dribble with 6 seconds. Hartman looking on the drive. Off balance shot, scores! What a play by Hartman! 76-69. Huge play.
Goes back to what Matt Copsey said earlier. Looking to score, not just looking to pass. What a great play.
He wouldn't have done that last year.
No,
he would have
not at
tried
all.
to pass it off.
Here's the ball in the hands of Allen. Allen lobs it inside now to Rashawn Jackson. Jackson trying to back in on Lutz. Offensive foul. Jackson lowered his shoulder. And that'll be Bethel ball here. 76-69 with a $1:13 to go in regulation. Scott Cooper didn't like the call.
No, he's saying that Paul Foreman does it every time. The difference was there was actual contact there. Norrell Smith falls down when you get close to him.
And now here is Kyle Hartman over the timeline now into the forecourt. Far side 45-foot mark. Skip pass over to Cruz. And now over here near side to Jared DeHart. And a timeout home team with 58.5 seconds to go. We're going to keep it right here and set the drama here. 76-69. The reason for the Ryan Lightfoot timeout here.
I was to drop a set play. Probably something where you're getting Paul Foreman setting a screen, hoping to get a switch, and then isolating Paul in the low block. I find it interesting, though, that Covington's on the bench and DeHart's playing in the final 2 minutes of a real close game.
Trayvon Covington is not the defender that DeHart is. And DeHart is a very strong on-the-ball handler. What I'm saying is you can bump him, and he's not going to lose his body balance. That's something that we've been able to see in the first 4 or 5 games. The play that he made up at Roosevelt was one that is legends that are made of, where he was knocked off the ball, was falling, had to hurdle a guy, and knock down a huge basket. He is going to have a great career here. He's not going to throw up the Travion Cruz type numbers, but he'll be a very, very good player, I think, when it's all said and done.
Oh, and this shows the kind of confidence that Coach has in him, and obviously sees him every day in practice. And this, again, from a Pilots fan standpoint, I think you come into the season going, man, we lost a lot of seniors, and now you're sitting the 6 games in going, well, there's some talent on this bench. It's a deep team.
Yes, and no question about it. Here's Cruz to inbound. Goes now to Lutz, and he traveled with a basketball. A huge turnover on the Pilots at the 57 mark.
That's not what Ryan called the timeout for, just in case you were wondering.
And now Smith goes in the backcourt now to Allen, and Allen quickly over the timeline now. Goes out to Jackson out high. Jackson looking. Jackson on the dribble. Drive, shoots, and scores the easy basket. And a timeout, South Bend. 76-71. Scott Cooper with the timeout with 47.7 seconds to go. You just can't turn the ball over after the timeout. That's a 30-second timeout.
No, you make them come foul you before you travel. They were running over to double team. You've got a 90% foul shooter with the ball. Don't panic. Just hold it. You still got a couple timeouts to use if you want to. So, in this situation here, if you're IOSB, certainly you want to try and look to trap and steal first. But then I think, you know how I feel, Paul. I'm always a fan of extend the game. Foul, make them go to the free throw line and earn it, but get the ball back.
Just to came in, look at the numbers. Pilots are number 7 in the country in turnover margin at 5.6. Number 10 in the country in steals. Number 13 in scoring. Number 4 in steals overall with 50.
This goes back to they're long arms. They're athletic.
And here's Hartman into the backcourt to Cruz, and then back to
That's
Kyle
who you
Hartman.
Want a foul right there.
Kyle Hartman with a basketball. Look. As Kyle Hartman calls a timeout here with 41.4 seconds to go. Boy, the emotions here are electric.
Yeah, and I'm surprised IOSB's not fouling Kyle Hartman. He's had a great game, but we know free throws, he's 6 of 8 this year. But that was certainly his weak spot last year.
Some more scores just coming in. The Cavemen missed Matt Copsey's alma mater with a lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half. 7-zip over at Steele Stadium. Decatur Central over Bloomington South, 14-0 in the third. Bishop Luers 28-0 over Marion at the half. Dwenger on top of Engel, a 30-0 now, Matt, in the third. Bremen on top of Whiting, 14-7 in the second. New Palestine 24-7 over Harrison in the fourth quarter. Michigan City's jumped back in front, 27-21 in that regional championship game. As Kyle Hartman will inbound the ball here. Right to my right, he'll have Cruz on the floor along with Foreman, DeHart, and Lutz. And I find it so interesting that you think so-and-so is going to be on the floor in marquee situations. You can't guess this group with Ryan anymore.
Well, and IUSB backs off the press. Pilots.
Here's Cruz with the basketball. Comes over here now to Kyle Hartman. Kyle back here to Travion Cruz. Cruz shovels over here to Hartman. Hartman back over here now to DeHart. DeHart on the dribble. Look, and a foul whistled on Miles Simmons with 24.4 4.4 seconds to go in regulation. To the charity stripe, Jared DeHart. DeHart on the year, 4 of 6 at the line. The 6'3 freshman who prepped at Indian Creek High School in Trafalgar, Indiana.
I question if you're going to foul, though. Why do you let 23 seconds go off the shot clock before you foul? At that point, just D up. There's 7 seconds to go, and Bethel has the ball at half court.
And DeHart bricks it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of fouling, you know that.
Yes,
but
you
I would
are.
have fouled at 40
You wrote the
seconds.
book on that.
Absolutely, foul it.
Now, here's an interesting situation. Brady Powers, a 5'11 freshman playing in only a second game of the year, is coming into the ballgame. DeHart's free throw is good, so he's able to convert one of the two, and making it a 77-71 game now. Here's the ball in the far side wing, into the hands of Allen. Allen goes to the far side on the crossover. Ball stolen away, and no, they got it back. Here's Allen for 3. No good rebound. DeHart, and DeHart immediately fouled with 4.9 seconds to go.
You let them use up 23 seconds first possession, and then you put in a guy who's not been on the floor the entire game and dribbled the ball for 12 seconds. Curly Neal exhibition.
And now to the line will be Jared DeHart again. And the Pilots, if they can hold off here in the next 4.9, the streak continues against the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. They will have won 22 straight games against the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. He has to make this one here because this makes it a 3-possession game.
Yeah, but there's only 4.9 seconds to go, and again, when you let him run all that clock, the first possession.
And 1 of 2 again for DeHart, making it 78-71. Checking into the ballgame now is Ricky Bonds, a 5'9 sophomore who did his prep work at North Central High School in Indianapolis. Jackson goes inside now here to Bonds. Bonds with a drive and the score. Final score as the Pilots, 78-73. Scott Cooper shrugs his shoulder as he comes away with a win today, 78-73. We'll get some final thoughts here from.
You see Coach Cooper take some time there to talk to Drew Schaus, and I can only imagine that just checking in on Drew. Coaches are close, just checking on the family.
We'll get some thoughts here from Trayvon Covington here in the post-game show. We'll take a timeout here on Regional Radio Sports.
They say growth is a journey and not a destination. At Teachers Credit Union, we agree. Helping our communities grow has been our mission ever since we began our journey in 1931. And supporting our members' growth has helped us to become Indiana's largest credit union. And we're just getting started. Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
St. Jude continued to advance by increasing cure rates in childhood cancer. And donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. When it comes to research and advancements, there are some things that only we can do because we have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES. Every day.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner, Matt Copsey. And what an entertaining basketball game we've had here tonight. The Pilots win their 1,262nd game in school's history. Bethel is now 61-5 in the regular season against non-conference foes since the start of the 13-14 season, including 23-0 here at Mike Lightfoot Court inside the Gage Gymnasium. So here in the 67th meeting between these two clubs, Pilots have won now 7 straight in this series. Bethel is now 40-3 here at home against IU South Bend. Some scores to pass along before we get some analysis from our tag team of Mark Gardner and Matt Copsey. Matt Copsey's alma mater on top of the Lowell Red Devils 7-0 at the intermission. Valparaiso leads Crown Point 10-6 with about 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter there. Mooresville leads Marion 7-6 in the third. Cecina Memorial trails Western Boone 13-7 in the third. Pioneer running roughshod over Triton 42 to nothing in the third. Southridge on top of Paoli 21-14. North Central has jumped in front of Warren Central 21-14 in the third. And now Michigan City in a shootout against Concord 34-21. Still with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Man, oh man, the man with two brains, Frank Kilpikowski, is going to be working on overdrive over there, Matt Copsey, with that kind of score. Can you imagine the offensive numbers are going on over there?
Well, I had a 49-22 game earlier this year. I had 45-32. I had a kid from Wawasee throw for 451 yards and 5 touchdowns. Another couple kids rushed for 300 yards. So
sounds like the first half of the Steelers last night.
Bethel's largest lead was 9 points at the 14:28 mark. Lead changed hands 9 times. We had 3 ties. South Bend's largest lead was 4. Taking a look at the shooting numbers, IU South Bend 24 of 53, 45%, 8 of 25 from long range, 32%, 17 of 24 at the line, 70%. IU South Bend had 5 offensive rebounds, 26 defensive rebounds. Now we'll compare those numbers to Bethel. Bethel shot 28 of 61, 45%, 8 of 23 from downrange, 34%. Bethel shooting 77% at the line on 14 of 18. Bethel had 7 offensive caroms and 27 defensive. So Bethel won the rebound war 34-31. I don't know if I'm surprised at that or not as long and lanky as this IU South Bend team is, Coach.
Long and lanky, but not physical and aggressive.
Right.
They spend a lot of time shooting 3-pointers. If you're outside the arc, you're not in rebounding.
Bethel with 20 assists, Titans with 11. 13 turnovers on the Titans, 10 for the Pilots. Pilots with 1 block shot. The Titans with 3. 4 steals for the Titans and 3 steals for the Pilots. You got our individual numbers, boys.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you have it.
Okay.
You're the stat master.
Okay. IUSB, Miles Tracy, 3 of 5 from the field, wound up with 6. Miguel Mahan, 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 points. Miles Simons, 5 of 11, 2 of 2 for 14 points. Dylan Allen, all in the second half, 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 17 points. Rashawn Jackson, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 points. Kenny Washington, 0 of 1 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 points. Norrell Smith, 0 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, just 2 points.
And 2 flops.
Will O'Connor, 1 of 1 from the field for 3 points. Danielle Meredith, 3 of 5 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 12 points. Jackson Edwards, 1 of 2 from the field, 3 points. Ricky Bonds hit the only shot there at the buzzer. Brady Powers did not score. Luke Fisher, 0 of 1 from the field. Paul Foreman, 3 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line for 10 points.
All right, let's get some thoughts here from Scott Cooper. Of course, we're fortunate to be able to be a part of 3 of our local schools, Holy Cross, Bethel, and Indiana University South Bend. So this is never a good time to talk to one of our friends, but we graciously appreciate Coop taking time. Hey, man, what an improvement since week 1 or since the first game against Concordia to today, man. I thought this team has improved light years in 5 games, man. So congratulations. I know you didn't win the ball game, but that's my take. That's all I can give you.
Yeah, we got better. We're not where we need to be yet, but it's like we talked about before the game. We're looking for sustained effort, sustained focus. I thought we had that in better stretches. We didn't have it for 40 minutes, and obviously to beat a good team on their home floor, you got to have that there. But it was certainly better defensively. That's probably one of our better efforts. Trayvon Covington, who hasn't scored all year, went nuts on us in that first half. You would have told me that we were going to hold Travion Cruz to 17 and Paul Foreman to 10. I tell you what, we're going to win that game. But, the wrong guy got loose, and that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, I want to talk about Dylan Allen. Of course, he got into some foul trouble early on in the ballgame, but a triple at the 5:41 mark, a triple at the 4:31 mark, an old-fashioned three-point play at the 2-minute mark. He refused to lose. You have to love that when the ball's in his hands.
Absolutely. He's a great kid, and he understands our system probably better than anybody and understands what we're looking for within that. And I think the biggest compliment you can give him is he knows his game. So he knows what's a good shot for him and what's a good shot for everybody else on the floor. And when you got young teams, you got a lot of guys who don't know that yet. And we really could have 17 points in the second half. We really could have used them in that first half, obviously, but that's the way it goes sometimes. You can't control those guys.
Mark?
Yeah, and kudos to your team for playing well without him in the first half, because you saw what a difference he made in the second half. Our viewers got a chance to see that. But you guys started off hot, 6 of 10 from three-point range, 2 of your last 15. But I thought, from watching over the past 2 years, you talked about that playing 40 minutes, and I thought you got about 30 quality minutes tonight. And talk about that consistency again.
Yeah, and it comes down to kind of what we were just talking about there, is knowing who we are and what we do. And, we like to shoot the three an awful lot, but we also, I think we've led our league in free throw. And obviously we shot a lot of free throws tonight too, I guess, but we didn't make many. We didn't shoot it as bad as I thought. It seemed like we missed more than that, I guess. I'm looking at the stat sheet now.
You missed some late ones. I think you were 14 of your first 18, I think.
Yeah.
There was 2 or 3, two misses here, a 1 or 2, a 1 and 2. So, I think those are the things that kind of get you over the hump.
Sure, yeah. And back to Coach's point, I thought we settled for a few there early in the second half there when we had some matchups, especially with Sean Jackson. He had matchups all night with Ryan Lutz and with 13 there. Razzler, he had some pretty good matchups, and we didn't do a great job exploiting it during that stretch, and we settled for some bad shots during that time. But again, it's a process when you got such a young group and understanding that.
Yeah, new faces. We talked about that at one point. I think 7 of the 10 players were new to the program this year between the two teams, and so improvement, long season, and positive things ahead for you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're excited about this group, and especially as we get guys like Alex Harmon back here this semester. That
I tell you what, can you imagine Peyton Staples playing right now?
Peyton Staples, obviously, big player for us. We got another wing guy named Sergio Diaz that we're excited about. So there's some good things coming, but in the meantime, we don't want to just settle and be okay with being young. We want to make sure we can start competing now because we do have some talent. We're just young and still learning at the moment.
All right, good luck against Lords, and of course we'll see you throughout the course of the year as you compete for the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference title, Coach. All right, once again, thanks to Scott Cooper for taking time to come over to visit with us. Just wanted to make sure that we get him on because I tell you what, it is so much fun being able to interact with the coaches at Holy Cross and at IU South Bend and Bethel. What a neat opportunity. And, Matt, sorry for interrupting you going through those numbers.
No, Coach Cooper is more important than I am. So.
Okay, so you want to go ahead and finish those important final numbers, please?
Yes. Paul Foreman, 3 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 10 points. Trayvon Covington, 9 of 11 from the field, 22 points. One thing is, Trayvon Covington only took 1 shot in the second half and hit it and then got into foul trouble. Trayvon Cruz, 4 of 11 from the field, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. At times you didn't even know he was out there because he was just flowing with everybody else out there. Doesn't bring the attention to himself. That's what I like about him out there. Ryan Lutz, 2 of 6 from the field, 5 points. Kyle Hartman, 4 of 6 from the field, 0 of 1 from the did not attempt any free throws. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Gavin Rassler, 4 of 9 from the field, 10 points. Jared DeHart, 0 of 2 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 points. And Dominic Janko, 2 of 5 from the field, 0 of 1 from the free throw line for 4 points. Bethel won the battle of the boards 34-31. 20 assists for Bethel, 11 for IUSB. 10 turnovers for Bethel, 13 for IUSB. IUSB only had 3 turnovers in the second half. 3 block shots for IUSB, 1 for Bethel, 4 steals for IUSB, 3 for Bethel.
We talked about Covington being a player of the game. Cruz, we talked about his stat line there with the 17, 7, and 8. But to me, Kyle Hartman was the player of the game tonight.
Yes.
He's accepted his role of coming off the bench. He did some really good things. He took shots when he normally doesn't, but yet he didn't force shots. And defensively, didn't get steal, but he just rattled things.
One of the things, and Coach, you could probably answer this better than me. Last year, he was counted probably more to distribute the basketball and take care of the basketball. I think this year he doesn't have that. He still does, but he really doesn't have that quote-unquote responsibility, so he can be more of a open-type player and do other things with the basketball, and we kind of saw that tonight.
Yeah, and he's adjusted. Last year he brought the ball up the floor. Now Cruz is bringing the ball up the floor, so he's playing off the ball. He can kind of pop out to the wing, and that makes him more aggressive. He's got that quick first step, where when you're bringing the ball up the floor, that kind of takes away that quick first step you have. And so, yeah, he's adjusted. He's accepted his role. But man, when you get Lutz and Covington in foul trouble and you can say, well, that's okay, we're going to turn to Hartman, you're in good hands.
All right, we're going to take our final timeout, come back, and we'll wrap it up live from Bethel College on Regional Radio Sports.
The men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember.
We're going to cut that off, and we're going to wrap things up. Trayvon Covington, boy, did he need this one when it's all said and done. Take a look at the Pilots don't have this win if it wasn't for his sensational first half effort. I'll give you the line score for number one. 9 of 11 from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. He had ended up with 2 rebounds, 4 fouls, total of 22 points in 19 minutes of action. First of all, boy, did you need this, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been a long season, long start. So I mean, this was a good thing. But even then, we got our other guys going for the other game. So we still 6-0. So that's all that matters.
That is all that matters. Talk about the dynamics of this. Kyle Hartman has improved. Travion is a really special talent. We go up and down the line. There's so many interchange. DeHart has been outstanding off the bench. Dominic Jenkos gives you a whole nother gear. So that when you got guys out there that can do so many things, this is and of course we already know what Lutz can do. So yeah. I mean, we don't. So many interchangeable parts. This is a really special unit.
We have a lot of pieces that can go off any night, that can do anything any night, and that's what's so special about us. Even when we're playing bad, somebody has a bad night, somebody else can pick them up. That's always how it's been. His team has been. That's always how it's been built. And, we just carry that tradition on. But this team is definitely special because anybody can go off on any night. Our 1 through 14 man could come off the bench and just have a great night.
Okay, give us a thought on what Ryan Lightfoot said during the postgame show. Was he happy, unhappy? What can you share?
We're kind of all unhappy because we didn't play to the level that we were supposed to play to. We didn't play at all to the level we were supposed to play to. Energy and effort, we were trying to speed them up. We didn't do that. We said take care of rebounds, take care of threes. We did not do that. Definitely not in the first half. But it's a win. We learn from it. I'd rather learn from a win than learn from a loss. So.
All right, moving forward, you got to get back here tomorrow. So there's not a lot of turnaround
yes, sir.
With Madonna coming in. Madonna's unbeaten right now at 4-0. They got some big guys in the paint, and one of the best players. Ryan thinks one of the best players in the country. So let's give us a sneak preview of what you can expect tomorrow.
Hey, ice bath, get treatment. Let's get up here in the morning. Let's talk about them. Let's get it on. Let's get an A-day in here, and let's get a win. That's all I can say about that.
All right, buddy. Congratulations on the win.
See you guys later.
Once again, good job for number one tonight as he came through in a big way to get his club off to Schneid in the first half. That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Once again, Pilots improved to 6-0. Titans fall to 2-4. A very special thank you to Jason Coots, who has been flying through under the radar tonight, getting us all the scores throughout the course of the evening. A special thanks to Ben Welt, who did our camera work tonight, for Tiny Condry up there in the booth, for the Hall of Famer Matt Cobbsey, for Coach Mark Gardner. I'm Paul Condry. Thanks again to Scott Cooper, as well as to Ryan Lightfoot for their interviews, Drew Schaus at the intermission. For all of us at Regional Radio Sports, once again, final score: Bethel defeats Indiana University South Bend 78-73. Pilots will be back in action tomorrow afternoon. Doubleheader, women's and men's. Cornerstone on the women's side and Madonna on the men's side. IU South Bend is going to be on the roads against Lords coming up on Tuesday. For all of us at Regional Radio Sports, I'm Paul Condry. God bless you all. Semper Fidelis. Good night, everyone.